all ours. We rake all the chips off the table. Okay, cool. That was the deal, and you knew up front. But since then, I've been told maybe 2 or 3 times that it's really gotten to loggerheads with agreements and things of they might really consider looking to move.
Right.
I would say this to the negotiators, but you got to be careful. You got to be a really strong poker player to do this. I would go into it with the Grizzlies of, we don't want anything to happen, and I don't. Right. I mean, the jarring impact of if that day ever came.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's coming. I don't think
so
it. I think I've already talked longer about it, and we probably should. But the impact, the hit, the psychological hit to just to the body politic, the body sport, the body everything. It would be one that I can't imagine and wouldn't wish on people. And I've seen it happen to other cities, and just the personal affront that it is to people. But I would almost sit down with the Grizzlies and almost ask this: where are you going?
Right.
And don't bid and negotiate against yourself, because right now I know you can throw out a lot of cities. We can throw out Altoona, PA, if you'd like. We can throw out Harrison, Arkansas, if you'd like. But there's only a few realistic places they can go.
Right.
Seattle and Vegas always gets mentioned.
Right.
And we have been told, and we think, and I have read, and you have read, that we think by every indicator that's going to be for expansion franchises.
Yes.
3 to 5 to maybe north billion for those, and you pass that around 30 ways, and that's real money even to those guys, even to Robert Parra and to James Dolan and to Mark Cuban and to the Benson family in New Orleans that owns the Saints. That's real money to Fertitta in Houston. That's real money. That is real money even to them. So that takes 2 big lucrative places off the map.
Right.
Back to Vancouver, is that real? To Montreal, is that real? Second team in Chicago, third team in Los Angeles, back to San Diego, 2 cents back to Cincinnati, back to Kansas City, back to St. Louis, maybe to Louisville. Are all those realistic at all?
It doesn't seem like it, no. I mean, certainly nothing that gets, I think, anybody excited in terms of the basketball
Tampa
world,
St.
the NBA.
Pete.
No, Tampa St. Pete, I mean, good Lord, if we got to cross the same bridge,
exactly.
I don't want to even hear about it. No, I mean, there's just not a lot of, and then obviously, like you said about Seattle and Vegas, those are the 2 big ones. I think really the only 2 names of cities that people ever put out in terms of a new team, but you're right, those would not be
Mexico
realignment.
City.
Yeah, I think we're way too far away from going there, especially with
You may see it in your lifetime.
Yeah, but I
doubt it.
I would doubt it, and if I do, I'm thinking it'd be a way long ways away.
A long ways away, and now there's one place.
Okay.
There's one place, and it would cut to the quick if it just got threatened, and it would potentially be some of the dirtiest pool I've ever seen played.
Oh, Nashville.
And you know who I'm talking about.
Nashville.
And it ain't Kingsport.
Nope. No, it is not.
It ain't Cookeville.
No, that would be one that would, I mean, that'd be a killer.
All right, I asked the potential. I asked Robert Parra or the Grizzlies or NBA, whomever.
Okay.
Where you going to play in Nashville? Bridgestone, really? Because Bridgestone is very pyramid 80s, 90s-esque.
Sure is.
Very Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Very Scottrade, Savas, whatever it's named now, in St. Louis. The newer building in Kansas City, where the Big 12 conference tournaments played, it's very much that in Kansas City is much newer than the other ones I just mentioned. But who knows? It could be with how Nashville is such boom town. If they wanted to get into the NBA business and really just decorate the tree and tell whatever NBA prospective owner, what do you want us to build for you? I guess they could. Yeah. I think at the first mention of that by anybody serious, don't let the door hit you.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a killer. That one would be, out of all of the cities you've just listed off. You're right. I mean, that one would
kick square to the teeth.
I mean, it would be brutal. It would be brutal. I don't know.
And you know, I can't believe that a city council meeting that was called over maybe not an easy transfer, but some due diligence and some kicking some tires and some things turned into prominent city leaders saying that the Grizzlies could move.
Well, and that's what I think all of this is. I think the city council almost felt like their back was against the wall in this. There were quotes in there that Jonah Dillon had. He posted on his Twitter. He had them in the story where they said they felt wronged because the media knew about this before they did. Nobody came to them with this about the
I just don't know the protocol on that. I don't know that they're rightfully to be that peeved over it. I don't know. And now I know with government and as much money and things that they control, you've got to find delicate dance with them, a balance with them. I do understand that.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of really any of that, but that seemed like they were very frustrated with kind of how this was handled, and it seemed like they were bringing up drastic measures to try to almost maybe get some of the momentum back on their side. And so that's just what it seemed like to me, but you're right.
And I don't want to get too far afield, but doesn't it also show you, golly, aren't we scared of our government? The governments are people that, you know, we elect. But anyway, I don't want to get into that because they do have their checks and balances they have to take care of, and they do run the city. Look, they got popularly elected.
That's right. And so, but yeah, no, kind of weird. The turn, and even, I mean, Jonah Dillon was tweeting about it. I know Sam Hardiman for the Daily Memphian, he was tweeting about and wrote about in his story of just kind of how this weird kind of turn the meeting took when it was supposed to be on this, and then it turned and became this whole different conversation that led to, like you said, people on the city council talking about the Grizzlies moving out of Memphis.
Almost like a teenager that missed curfew and we kick you out of the family.
That's right.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, I was a little late. Yeah, a little drastic. I think
10, but
probably didn't really, you know, the infraction really, the crime, the punishment's a lot more than the crime anyway.
Yes.
But that went down today, and that will be a lot of conversation until a final resolution. And we know the wheels of government everywhere turn slowly.
Yes.
And we have to get moving. We have to get moving on that. We have to get moving on FedEx Forum.
Yeah.
But this is at least the second or third crucible, big kick point of we may leave. How many times can the Grizzlies play that? Because I don't think they're going to, and I guess they can play it every time they want to. Because if you can play them like a fiddle, why not? And after this is resolved, and I think it will be, and I sure hope it to be, because again, I can't imagine us without them and what that hit would be like. But after this one, we're talking, you know, at least $1 billion in public money. Again, if you broke it down on any kind of tax bill for you, you've spent more today driving through the coffee line.
Right.
But what if there's a person out there that's, you know, I don't know any and don't want to know any, but they're averse to sports, whether it's Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium or AutoZone Park or FedEx Forum, and going, you know, I don't want another penny going to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it's not my fun. No, I'm paying for someone else's fun.
Right, and that's a fair argument for those people, and that you know, I think is very fair. But you know, I don't know. You're right. I mean, there's a long way to go with this, and I don't like the ideas of all of this getting delayed because of the kind of standstill that we're having today. But it sounds like a real possibility that it will be delayed a little bit.
Boy, I admire Fred Jones for something. Fred Jones with the Southern Heritage Classic. He went heavy and said, I want a long-term deal for my game.
Good. good, and that's I mean, we know the rich history
at a
of
good
the
fair
game.
rate.
Absolutely, and good for him for I mean, because honestly, I mean, we've seen it, and we've seen it with different things, not only in this one deal, but in other things. I mean, you can get forgotten very quick, and so good for him for stepping up and saying, "Look, we're here. We want to stay, and you are going to hear me." I loved seeing that today.
I was surprised the email that current mayor, soon to be out,
right.
Mayor Jim Strickland, said that last year the city lost $4.2 million on Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. I don't know how. I mean, you've got to set prices and rent up there to where you're at least the books balance.
Yeah. I saw that, and that was
like a checkbook.
Yeah, and that was the kind of one of the big pieces of kind of the stories that have come out since this meeting this morning, of the fact that in the past, the city has tried to give Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium to the University of Memphis because of that hit they seemingly take year in and year out on it, and now they don't want to hand it over after all of this, and so it's just a very weird, delicate situation.
But I say that about the books balancing, but I don't know how you really monetize something that's only used 10 times a year?
That's a very good point. I don't know. I guess.
I mean, what would you have to charge in rent,
sitting there,
and in parking, and in concession? What would you have to? I mean, would it take the $5 drink to $25? Well, nobody's going to buy that.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Then the market speaks back.
Yeah. It's very a lot of ins and outs of it, and I didn't think
it is.
was going to go the way it went.
I did not see today in this topic, this dialogue happen.
No, I didn't either, and it came as a shock to me. I mean, I knew the meeting was coming up today. I knew we were going to have it. I figured there'd be a little bit of pushback, but I didn't think it would kind of turn into this. But
and I think the original contention was one city council member wanting a seat on the potential board that will oversee it for the university. Okay, fine.
Sure.
Here's what I'd do. I'd give all the city council members whatever tickets they want. That's what we're going to give you.
That's right.
And then, in good old citizen government, we're going to let everybody know where you're sitting.
Yes, I like that. Everybody know. They're sitting right here in these seats, this section.
Yeah. If you want to come by and say hi, please
hello,
do.
Thank them for their
Be
service.
Nice.
And you know. They are the elected public officials.
That's right.
I mean,
they technically work for us writ large, the people,
right.
Vox Populi, the folks.
The folks. Yeah, no, it's an interesting kind of turn to this whole thing, and then hopefully it gets worked out. I go back to the talk of this whole kind of transfer, which is part of the Smith family. Part of their donation was that the stadium would be in the University of Memphis's name, and so the delay that they were kind of talking about today of that transaction, that transition. I don't want to see, but it sounds like that's where we're going, and how much does that kind of complicate things going forward?
There was a moment today following Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeals. Great reporting all day, live and in living color, right all there day, for everybody to view and see. There was a point that I was reading and going, as disconcerting as this subject matter is, I think I would rather have the city council discussing a sports stadium than I had medical decisions and COVID rates.
Well, yes, that is true. So I guess that is a positive you could take away from it, that we're not where we were, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it was. I mean,
in the middle of it, 3.
Oh, man. Yeah. So that is a positive. We're at least not debating that and talking about that. But that was an interesting meeting today. Let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we got to talk Tiger basketball. We talked a lot yesterday about their loss to Ole Miss over the weekend, but 2 games this week in the first of two will be tomorrow night. Usually at that time we talk to Dave Voloshin, but he is currently making the trip up to Richmond for that game against VCU tomorrow night. So we're just going to talk about this Tiger team, about the game tomorrow night, and then the game Sunday against Texas A&M, 3:45. We'll talk Grizzlies. They're back in action tomorrow night against the Pistons, one of those games that is added because of the in-season tournament and the Grizzlies not making it to the quarterfinals. So they'll play tomorrow night. We'll talk about the Grizzlies at 3:45. 4 o'clock, Brent Beard from First Coast News down in Jacksonville will join us to talk some college football. Got to get his thoughts on the college football playoff, bowl season, transfer portal, a lot to get to with Brent at 4 o'clock. 4:30, after another week, interesting weekend of both college football and NFL, we got to talk about what we're certain of at 4:30. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Beau Marchant will join us to talk the NFL. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together, and it's time for Family Leisure's Christmas sale. Excellent deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, and saunas. Tired of the sore from shopping? Check out our huge in-stock selection of hot tubs and massage chairs. Surprise your kids with a new arcade, game table, or play gyms. Gifts for the whole family to enjoy at Family Leisure. And also on sale, theater seating, outdoor kitchen, grills and patio furniture, and fire pits. Family Leisure wishes you and your family a very Merry Christmas, but make sure you get out of there for the Christmas sale only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer is Johnny Hill, and we're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a big part of it at 901-360-8255. On all subject matter, 901-360-8255. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Call them at 901-334-9673. The one and only Lexus dealership in town wishes you and yours a happy holiday season and a Merry Christmas. Great offers on all the very few remaining 2023 models. The 24s have taken over. They always have those great special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day is the Tiger basketball team. They'll be back in action tomorrow night against VCU. But, Brett, I'm a big KenPom guy. I like to look at the advanced analytics. I think
what do they say?
Really good. Memphis today woke up as the 42nd team according to KenPom. They've been rising and falling these past couple of weeks.
Is that good or bad?
That's fine. In December,
is that at-large bid or not? If today were Selection Sunday?
No.
In fact, Selection Sunday, not only not today, it's not any time this year.
That's true. That's a very good point, Brett, and that's why it doesn't really matter right now. It's still early in the season, but I do think 42 would leave them
kind of the sausage making of KenPom right now. We're watching.
It really is. We are watching it, but a couple teams in their neighborhood of 42, since we're talking about it: 40 Iowa, 41 Nevada, 43rd UCLA, 44 Providence, 45 a team that they beat about a week ago, Arkansas at 45. But tomorrow night they'll play VCU. I think a good VCU team. But again,
big one for Providence tonight.
Big one for Providence, absolutely. But then after that, 3 extremely important games: Texas A&M, Clemson, and Virginia. Those last 2 at home at FedEx Forum. But when you look at KenPom ranks, I know KenPom is not the end-all, be-all, but they're right in front of me, so I'm going to use them. Texas A&M, 20th in KenPom. Clemson, 28th in KenPom. Virginia, 27th in KenPom. So those are 3 big games that will be huge for you if you can take advantage of them. Tomorrow will be a big game. They cannot get ahead of themselves because it'd be very easy. With Texas A&M on the horizon and Clemson and Virginia, it can be very easy to look past a VCU team that's right now 4-4 coming off a loss against Norfolk State. Very easy to look ahead to that big matchup against another SEC team, but they cannot look ahead. It's very hard on the road to beat a VCU team, especially when a team like Memphis comes to town. When a team like Norfolk comes to town, gym can be kind of empty. But when a team like Memphis comes to town, people get up for that. People know what that means for their team and what a big-time environment could mean. So I think it's going to be a good environment, and it could be a tough challenge for Penny Hardaway and his team.
A VCU team that also lost to McNeese
That's
as
right.
well as Norfolk State. They're not very good, so that tomorrow night's big. My top story, a top in the number 1 seed for now in the AFC, the Miami Dolphins. I didn't think Tua would even be upright at this point of the year, and now he's having a great year. But when he's in there, he's real good. I hope he stays in there the rest of the year. Dolphins have a good run game, too. Pretty solid defense. Enough in special teams. Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since 2000. Jay Fiedler, starting quarterback for the Dolphins that day when he defeated Peyton Manning in 2000. Passing yards. Tua is already 4th all-time in career passing yards with the Dolphins. 1 is Dan Marino, 2 Bob Greasy, and 3 Ryan Tannehill. The 1 seed is everything for everyone, but especially a warm weather team like Miami.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day is the NFL, and the game we saw last night turned out to be a heck of a game. I didn't know how good of a game it would be. We talked about it yesterday, a 10.5 point favorite.
You got me.
I sure did get you. I mean, a 10.5 point favorite.
You got your W, and they got your
Jaguars,
checks today.
And they sure did. Everybody got their checks today. How about that, Brett? How's that work? You wake up on a Tuesday, win or loss, and you got a check in the mail. But the Bengals, a 34-31 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jake Browning versus Trevor Lawrence is what we saw at the beginning, but then it turned out to be a game of backups because Trevor Lawrence, it looked really gruesome when it first happened. I mean, he goes down, he tries to get back up, he goes immediately back down, slams his helmet, slowly makes his way off the field with trainers, and some of the initial reporting sounded really bad. I mean, sounded like he
I thought Achilles.
I thought it was going to be really, really bad, and some of the reporting that really came out before any of the x-rays made it sound like he wasn't going to return the rest of the season, but today's report sounds like a high ankle sprain. He should be back, maybe not this Sunday, or next Sunday, I should say, but could be the following Sunday, so maybe a week off, and then he could be back. But Jake Browning was really, really good last night. 354 yards, 1 touchdown, only sacked twice, 32 for 37, and he led them to that win last night. A really, really fun performance from Jake Browning. You talked about him yesterday, Brad, with Washington back in the college football playoffs. He was once a star at Washington that we forgot about, but a big game for him last night.
And I asked rhetorically as we were closing last night, and I missed on the pick. You got it right. Good picking.
Thank you.
But I asked rhetorically, can either team run it enough? Cincinnati pounded
sure
the rock.
did.
I think 156 total.
156, that's right.
And that
3
kept Jake
touchdowns.
Browning back there really cozy
Sure
all
did.
night, and they didn't even have to send his uniform through the washing machine.
No, they did not.
That run game really helped him. My not top story, Caleb Williams. He'll be at the Heisman Trophy ceremony this Saturday night as the defending winner of that trophy in Lower Manhattan. He won last year, and he's not going to win this year. This year, 3,633 yards, 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Last year, did we appreciate this enough? 43-57 with 42 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I guess we did. He won the Heisman.
Well, that's a good point.
But did we canonize, glorified enough? I don't know that we did.
I don't think we
the
did.
Tulane loss in the bowl hurt. That hurt people remembering
Sure
that kind of year with him. And his team was lousy this year. But it'll be a long time. It'll be hard for someone to join Archie Griffin as 2-time winners. There have been a lot of players. Johnny Manziel had a shot at it. Tim Tebow had a shot at it. Many others had shots at it, and they couldn't do it. But Saturday night, I don't know who's going to win, but Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, and Marvin Harrison, they've all been invited to New York City, and we know the winners among those 4. They wouldn't all been invited.
That's right. No, it's going to be interesting to see what happens and who's hoisting that trophy.
I asked this. I know Barry Sanders was in Tokyo with Oklahoma State playing a late season special game for them, maybe against Wyoming or somebody like that. I wonder when the last time the person really just got called up and said, "Hey man, you just won.
Man, congratulations.
You won the Heisman Trophy."
I'd have to go back a long time.
I think so.
Well, it's going to be fun either way. And I don't know. I mean, I think it could go a lot of different ways in terms of picking the Heisman. I know who I want to win. I know who I want to second win, I guess. I have two that I'd be fine winning.
Who's that? Who do you want?
I want Jaden Daniels to win, but right behind him is Michael Penix. I love Michael Penix, and I would not be mad if either of them won. I will be mad if Bo Nix wins. I do not like Bo Nix.
Who would be your third?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, you're going to like my ballot then.
All right. Sounds good. I like it. Even third.
Can't divulge.
How about this? How about Jordan Travis on the ballot as the NCAA or the College Football Playoff Committee told us he was the most important player because his team.
They really did.
Him.
He should win in a landslide, shouldn't he?
He should win. The committee told us he's the most important player
ever
in college football. I mean,
yeah.
Just saying, something to think about, Brett. Something to think about. But I'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about this Tiger basketball team and their game tomorrow against VCU. That's next on Sports Time.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because you know, mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Ingersoll Rand, and Metaltech in-store or at northerntool.com.
My Westies.
WestiesMemphis.com.
Westies Hot Fudge Pie. By now, you know we're famous for a hot fudge pie. But have you tried the new Cajun Alfredo?
The new spicy on our menu.
Fettuccine noodles, homemade Alfredo, sliced bell peppers, diced green onions, smoked sausage, and Cajun sauteed shrimp? Are you kidding me?
Wow. What you said?
Often imitated,
Never duplicated.
the new Cajun Alfredo.
Only at the North End's Westies.
Oh my, so good.
We deliver 7 nights a week.
Downtown Memphis. Oh my.
Open late till 2 a.m.
So good.
Join us December 7, 8, and 9 for our 40th anniversary celebration. Festivities kick off at 6 p.m. nightly. Old friends, new friends, and hot fudge pie.
Cooling or heating system on the fritz? Dripping faucet? Call the pros at Conway Services today and we'll waive the service call fee with any HVAC or plumbing repair. Expert technicians available 7 days a week. Call 384-3511 to schedule your appointment. Visit conwayservices.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19668.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, we have catered parties all over this country and all over the world, from Singapore, Australia to Central Park in New York, but many people don't realize how much we do locally. For holiday events, office parties, tailgating, birthday parties, you can't do better than the Rendezvous. For example, you can get a cheese and sausage tray for 15 to 300 people for $3.75 a person. You can even build your own nacho bar for $10.50 per person. All you need is a minimum of 15 people. In many cases, we can arrange delivery and full-service catering. We've even made it easy to get to-go items. You can just park at our front door in the alley, put on your flashes, and we'll get you going ASAP. For all your catering items and prices, go to hogsfly.com, click on menu, and drop down to catering.
Thank you, John. the Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Virgos' Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It already wants to pick up at times in the construction zone northbound 55 up by Crump. It's already crowded at times also there on 55 south across the bridge over from West Memphis. I-40 east on the bridge headed over into West Memphis. Actually looks pretty good right now. You don't want to miss it this holiday season. I'm talking about Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga. Check them out now at crockcity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, Tiger basketball team back in action tomorrow night against VCU. After losing back-to-back games, Villanova was the first loss, that last game in the battle for Atlantis. Then they get a whole week off before playing Ole Miss on Saturday. Another loss to Ole Miss, a 3-point loss. But Brett, we learned today Penny Hardaway was dealing with a toothache during that game that only gave him 30 minutes of sleep the night before. I mean, hey, I've dealt with toothaches before. I don't know if I want to coach a game during a toothache, but
I know I don't, and I'm not saying this is exactly where I thought the Tigers would be. I had them 5-2 to this point. The only thing my upset was how that game was just gift wrapped Saturday.
Yes.
And Ole Miss did a lot. Chris Beard did a lot to help get the wrapping paper out at this time of year.
Yes.
The Villanova loss, okay, except for being the big exception of being down 35 with 10 minutes to play, but still great progress. Tigers are in good shape.
Yes,
Let's don't over dramatize this. But tomorrow night is big. It has to be won because Sunday afternoon is very difficult, and everybody in all the preseason hype and conversation had the Tigers winning this game tomorrow night against Virginia Common. And I'm seeing and hearing from people already of how early it is. And we were talking about the sausage making of Ken Palm in net rankings had its first unveil yesterday. We know how important this time of year, this non-conference stretch is for Memphis because we know that conference is pure slop. There's no other – and tonight, got to pull for FAU against Illinois.
Got to.
If you're of the Tiger basketball persuasion, you got to be pulling for Dusty May and FAU the Owls because there's just really not any other place to turn for a third bid. If Memphis or FAU were to come undone, this would be a one bid. That would be the winner down at Dickey's Arena. But that's getting far ahead. But what I hear people talking about, it's still early, and I hear that every year at this time. But I also hear some of the same things every year at this time. I hear in September we've never seen chemistry better. It's just ideal. Oh, the pickup games, you got to go see it. 10 players, one ball, minutes, rotation. I hear it every single year, and what unfolded Saturday often unfolds. And then we hear that chemistry's not so good, and everybody's wanting their shots, and we still just have one ball and rack up some losses. And then this. And I don't know, and this may be why a lot of places don't put anybody but the head coach out there talking for them. But Rick Stansberry last night questions the crowd. Rick Stansberry's been here 10 minutes, but he's right.
He is right.
And anybody that wants to delude themselves and get under that warm blanket of looking at that box score total and convince themselves that north of 10,000 were there for Jackson State and Alabama State, then you're really going to have a great Christmas Eve leaving out food for Santa.
Yes. No, I was there for that game against Jackson State, and it was not anywhere north of 10,000.
Way too early in the year. I got the scan count for both.
Well, Brett, and last night...
And I don't want to go scan count all year, much less after 2 home games, but the two combined wouldn't equal 10,000.
No, I believe it.
So quit telling me, the crowds are out there when we have eyeballs and we know, and then I have actual data. In this point, this is why tomorrow night's crucial. You got tomorrow night on the road. You got A&M on the road, and then all next week off before Clemson comes to FedEx Forum. Clemson's undefeated. They got a big one tomorrow night against South Carolina, or tonight.
I think tomorrow night. Let's look.
Both undefeated. Two of the remaining 14 undefeateds in college basketball.
How about South Carolina being undefeated? A side note there. I didn't expect that this year.
How about the stories out there that are better without Gigi?
And, Brett, I like Gigi a lot, but I
do too.
I buy into it.
We digress.
Yes.
It's why tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon is important, because when the Tigers finally get to FedEx Forum, they get to FedEx Forum against Clemson, and Clemson's 0 or 1, and the Tigers are 7-2. Will be a great atmosphere. 2 o'clock game, wheelhouse time of day to play the game. During the holiday season, you can shop before, you can shop after, you can go to the Tiger game. Sunshine, safe, all that good. Everything will be perfectly set up around it. First game in 29 days at home.
Wow. I mean, that's hard to believe. But,
Well, it's like we hadn't been introduced to them.
We don't even know. We don't even know the team yet. But, I think, and talking about that Clemson team, I mean, they take care of business these next 2 games, which I think they can. I mean, that's an undefeated ranked team coming to FedEx Forum to play the Tigers, and it should be a great environment. But, going back to those comments by Rick Stansberry last night, and I thought it was funny because I thought that's something Ryan Silverfield should be saying. And Rick Stansberry saying it, and it was a quote I could have seen Silverfield saying, because it's kind of the same thing of why are everyone's talking about my team, our team, and how we're good or bad or whatever, and you look up and there's not a ton of people in the crowd, and so I think you can say it for both teams, football and basketball.
I just found it almost shocking. the assistant coach,
I did
who's
too.
been here, 25 minutes,
not long at all,
that he kind of calls out the home fans, the paying customer.
Yeah, I didn't expect it last night, but, I didn't hear it. I think I saw maybe Jason Munn's tweet it out that he said it. But, no, I mean, this team is they're a good team. They've got good players, but we go back, and I've heard, Brett, we talked about it yesterday. Heard Dave talk about it on his show yesterday. John has brought it up the past 2 days. David Jones is your best scorer on this team. Jaquan Walton's good, but he got knocked out of that game on Saturday. But I do think David Jones is probably your best scoring option on this team. Last 5 minutes of the game, he doesn't put up a single shot. Why are we not force-feeding him the ball, even if he is being double-teamed, even if he has the best defender on his team? You get him the ball and run the offense through him, and they just weren't doing that on Saturday against Ole Miss.
No, they didn't, and it went a really long stretch, and I didn't know the coach was in such discomfort, but somebody's got to tell him, hey, Coach, David Jones hadn't touched the ball in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get it to him, and you mentioned this yesterday. I think it's a good point. I mean, Javon Quinterly is a good player, but when I think of a guard, an older, experienced guard, and what he did in those last couple of minutes of the game on Saturday, I think he just needs to be better. Now, I say all of this, take it all with a grain of salt, because we're talking about a November basketball game with a completely new roster. I think this team's going to be fine. I am not going to take anything away from that game against Ole Miss, but these are things that I want to see improvements going into these next 3 or 4 weeks.
I do too, and I don't put that shot selection entirely on him.
No, not at
Even
all.
with no timeout, the timeout was used way too soon without leaving one in the quiver for late in the game. That was on the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But still, even without any, you've had to drill and simulate that 100 times since August. We're out of timeouts. We had to call it because we were getting pressed in the corner and we had to burn whatever it is. However, the reason you ran out of timeouts, but we're out of timeouts. About 40 seconds play. Put the time on the clock. You bring it up. This is what we run now.
Yes.
Coach Hardaway said it was corner kick to Ashton Hardaway.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't he run the play?
It's a good question, and I went back and looked at it. I mean, Ashton's right there in the corner, wide open. It would have been – that's where I think Quinterly – he was wide open.
He was wide open.
I don't know that it would have gone in. I don't know that it wouldn't have gone in, and if it did go in, I don't know what would have happened in overtime.
Right.
Yep.
But I keep going back to I just think Quinterly lost track of time, didn't know where he was, thought maybe there was – 1 second on the clock when there was really 3 or 4 seconds on the clock.
And this was one of the big reasons kind of go old man basketball, to not have the 18, 19-year-old point guard, field general, quarterback out there having to do that. Now, this is one of the sadder things, but true everywhere, without exception, of portal, NIL, and the player liberation and freedom and all the transferring. All the Alabama people. Every Alabama media person I know, and I ask a bunch specifically at SEC Media Days when we weren't talking football, hey, what about Javon Quinn? Oh, good riddance. He'll turn it over at a critical time. Now, everybody does that to the outgoing.
Of course.
And that's not fair.
It's not. It's not, but it's kind of what happens.
I know who didn't do it. Nobody at SMU said that about Kendrick Davis.
No,
they said you're getting the player of the year.
No.
That's right, John.
Yes,
nobody said that.
I have plenty of friends and family that have gone to SMU, and all of them were saying, man,
you got exactly what we knew you were getting.
Believe that y'all are getting Kendrick Davis, and he showed why. And so, you're not going to get Kendrick Davis and a lot of point guards in college basketball. And I think Quinterly's good. I do think Quinterly's a really good player. I think he's a really good point guard. I just think this is a new team and a new system, and people are still trying to learn in the 7th game of the season. And that's okay. And you're going to take some losses early in the season, and that's why Penny Hardaway has put together the schedule he's put together. So it's going to be interesting, but tomorrow is I don't want to call it must win, but it's a game that you need to go and you need to take care of business.
It's really, really, really important, but it's close to must, and we'll talk Grizzlies in the next segment.
Yes, we will.
So far this year, the Grizzlies hadn't won many anywhere, but the Tigers and the Grizzlies have not won on the same date yet this year, and tomorrow night's kind of must for both.
Oh, don't tell
me
that, Brett.
Great stat, Brett.
Should have saved that for big number.
That's a great stat, Brett.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to hear that, but no. Let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about those Grizzlies.
56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or sweet maple bourbon. The taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. And now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4-cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Atlin and Kirby Whitten and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Coletta's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletta's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletta's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletta's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletta's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletta's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletta's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, we talked about the Tigers, but the Grizzlies also in action tomorrow night against the Detroit Pistons. One of the games that's been added because of the teams that didn't make it to the quarterfinals of the in-season tournament. By the way, some good in-season tournament games last night. Those were really fun in the quarterfinals.
New Orleans is going to hang a banner, aren't they?
They sure are. They're going to hang a banner. We might have a parade, Brett, in the middle of the season.
A lot of parades in New Orleans. They like to have a parade.
They do like a parade now.
Man, can't you just see old, grizzled New Orleans goers, veterans, tourists?
Mm-hmm.
And the parade is what? The in-season NBA? Okay, let's
guys,
party.
Guys, look, there's a parade going on in the street.
Let's party.
Let's go watch.
Where are the shots?
It's the in-season tournament parade for the Pelicans. That would be hilarious. I would love that. But some fun games, and I think this in-season tournament is really working out the way the NBA expected it to. But for the Grizzlies tomorrow night, and Brett, you gave us a stat in the last segment that neither one of these teams have won on the same day this year. And I was thinking about this driving.
Good chance tomorrow.
But Brett, I was thinking about this driving in. I was listening to a podcast where they were laughing at how bad the Pistons were this season and how many games they've lost in a row. And I said to myself driving in, Detroit's going to beat Memphis tomorrow. I mean, it's going to happen. And that's just...
Well, they really do.
Brett, that's just how the season has gone. I mean, with the injuries and the suspensions and all this and that, what more would be Memphis Grizzlies 2023 than them losing to the Detroit Pistons that have lost 16 straight games?
Now, if you're in Detroit, you're looking at this like we look at a lot of these college football schedules.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Mississippi State plays Arkansas, or Ole Miss plays Missouri, or Missouri plays Kentucky. Every one of that group of fans thinks they're winning that game.
Yes.
Detroit's thinking they're getting off the schneid in what
Yes.
I think this has gotten to more than a schneid. I don't know what the next level is after a schneid, but I think this futility is close to it.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they're on their way. They lose tomorrow night. It's serious conversation about 73 Philadelphia. And nobody thought that would ever happen again. That was really bad. Now, after that, the 76ers got it right, and they especially got it right when they traded for a doctor named Julius Erving, and that helped them when the merger hit. And a real quirk in the schedule, usually against the East, you go there once, they come here once.
Right.
15 road, 15 home. This will be one of 2 trips to Detroit.
Okay.
The Grizzlies will go back April 1st and play Detroit, and then the home game April 5th.
Wow.
So don't see Detroit again.
Wow.
Detroit really could be going for 73 Philadelphia in April.
Yes, the way we're talking about Detroit right now could be very similar and also very different at the same time as what we're talking about them in April.
We could.
I mean, hopefully the Grizzlies can win tomorrow. I think they have a really good chance. And the way they've been playing, Brett, they've been playing better basketball. Maybe that goes back to their player-led practice where we were talking to DeMichael last night, and he said that basically all the coaches just walked in, sat down, and said, we're going to force y'all to communicate with each other and call each other out. If it was a bad decision, bad something, y'all got to call each other out. Y'all have got to work as a team. And maybe that practice, how uncomfortable it was, some of the players were talking about, maybe that has what has kind of pushed them over these last 3 games. 2-1, 2 wins, and I think a really hard-fought loss against the Suns.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it motivationally. I don't mind it for a team, esprit de corps. I don't mind it at all. But at some point, don't you hit the max number of players-only meetings?
Oh, absolutely.
And y'all figure it out
100%.
until why do we need you around coaching?
No, you're right, and that is the kind of fine line of how many do you have? How many times do we have to kind of go to this?
Kind of go to the whip
again.
like that.
Yeah, and so this seems like the first. We had kind of the 2 veteran guys that you brought in, both kind of talk about their frustrations and voice their concerns, and then you have
we had the Marcus Smart blow up.
The Marcus Smart. We've had Derrick Rose in the media talking about how are they going to win games if nobody's communicating defensively. But I think if we look back in a month, obviously you'll have Ja Morant back, but if you look back in a month and over these last 10, 15 games, you have a winning record or 500 record, I think we'll look back and say, hey, all of that was worth it. And you can point back to that as maybe the turning point.
Still looks like first home game at FedEx Forum for Ja Morant will be game 27. Yeah. We know the 25-game suspension, but game 26 is on the road in New Orleans. That's on December 19th. So that's in New Orleans. December 21st at home against a really good Indiana team.
Oh, yeah, both of those teams that you just named. I think we were looking at
that's the play-in teams.
Yeah, it really is.
That could be your finals.
It really could, and I think we're looking back at we're looking at both of those teams today.
Indiana doesn't hang a banner for play-in, do they? They've been to NBA Finals, proud ABA team.
But Brett, over
a million years ago.
I was about to say over the last however many years, it's been pretty bleak in Indiana. I mean, that might be a good time.
Got an NBA champion coach. He's not going to let some janky play-in banner go up.
That's a good point. But no, I mean, Brett, before the season, I don't think anybody thought the Pacers would be sitting where they are right now, 11-8, just came off a win against the Celtics. It looks like they have some real players over there. And the Pelicans are getting healthy.
Maybe best point guard in the league.
Right. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is unbelievable and showed it last night with a triple-double, 26, 10, and 13.
And 0 turnovers.
Brett, have you been keeping up with that? I mean, all season. I mean, that guy just does not turn the ball over, ever.
And that's really, really critical for your point guard.
It is. I mean, it's one of the first check check boxes that you get to is how many times you turn the ball over, and he does not. So, but I think Pelicans are looking really good as well. They're getting healthy, and I think it could be a tough first two games when Ja gets back onto the court. But I know we're ready to see it. We're ready to have him back on the court and give the Grizzlies that starting point guard, that star power that they've really been looking for all season so far. But let's go ahead and wrap up this hour. Get to a break. When we come back, we've got to talk college football with Brent Beard.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Merry Christmas from Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. We're here to make your holiday season extra cozy and cheerful. For the first 50 customers who purchase a new Carrier system or tankless water heater, we have a special gift for you. Choose from a free 75-inch smart TV, a PlayStation 5, an Xbox X, a Nintendo Switch, or a $500 gift card on us. It's our way of spreading holiday joy. But hurry, this festive offer will only last through December 24th. Enjoy a comfortable Christmas and a special present from Choate's. Because when you choose us, you're not just a customer, you're family. Schedule your free estimate today at 901-347-8086. Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Let our family serve your family this holiday season. Wishing you a warm and joyful Christmas from Choate's.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on power tools, automotive jacks and stands, and portable inverter generators this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Italian Tuesday spaghetti, ravioli, Italian spinach, delicious fried catfish, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $8.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $10.95. And veggie plate, $9.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Eddie Smith plays Sundays 5 to 9, Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays John Williams and the A440 Band at Neil's.
Where the fat man rocks.
It's the hometown Memphis Tigers taking on Iowa State in this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Plus, Memphis music legends, the Barkays, will be there performing the music that made Memphis, and you'll want to be there too.
Everybody say, So Bigger! Say, So Bigger!
It's all happening Friday, December 29th at 2:30. Get your tickets today by calling the AutoZone Liberty Bowl at 795-7700. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. MPD on the scene of a couple of accidents. Watching it get a little bit heavy over here just in the last few minutes on 240 East at Mount Moriah, either getting onto 385 or continuing on 240 East over around Poplar. It's that typical buildup now in the construction zone, but it's been in pretty decent shape for the most part out here on 55 north and southbound between Macklemore and South Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, they're located 7525 Highway 64. Shop local this holiday season at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
College football talk every Tuesday with Brent Beard, Heisman voter, and on Twitter X at Brent Beard. SEC, ACC, AAC. We talk it all with Brent. Here's Brent Beard with Bryant and Brett.
Brent Beard joins us now from First Coast News in Jacksonville to talk some college football. Brent, thanks so much for joining us, and there's been a lot of debate, a lot of conversation these past couple of days about what the committee decided to do Sunday morning with their 4 college football playoff teams. What was your reaction to the decision by the committee to put Texas and Alabama in and Florida State out?
Well, the committee really had gotten the point. Brian, we were really fortunate that we haven't dealt with this really before.
Yeah.
Now, we've come close to it a few times, but at some point, the odds are going to catch up with you that you're going to have a really difficult situation, and that's what we came up against because we didn't have a whole lot of upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, being down here and into 2.5 hours away from Tallahassee, there probably is nothing we haven't heard over the last few days, frankly.
Including their members of Congress.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Yeah, who really need to stay out of this.
Jeez. Yeah.
Frankly.
I think we got about 10,000 more pressing issues than Rick Scott getting involved in the college football playoff.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. And look, here's your reality, and then you hear about, Florida State's going to try to sue. Well, who in the world are they going to sue? Because, look.
A man named Boo?
That's right.
Yeah, clever. There is.
I almost went cat in the hat there. Who are you going to sue? A man named Boo. I didn't mean to, Brett.
Look. The reality of this thing is they signed up for this. Florida State did, like everybody else, how many X number of years ago, and they signed off that this is what we want to do. And when you do that, you really don't have a lot of precedent for suing. But here, this is the thing that we've talked about today. The Florida State's enemy is not Alabama, and it's not really the SEC. The thing that Florida State needs to be able to deal with here, frankly, they have got to be able to understand that this committee said it was either going to be the best team or the most deserving. Well, this time they went with the best. That there's some confusion about how many people from the SEC are on the committee. Well, there are more from the ACC than the SEC. And the other thing that you've got here is the strength of schedule. FSU's 55, Alabama's 5. I know y'all have heard all those numbers, but to me, there's really a couple things here that really need to be addressed. Is number one, the system has reached its exhaustion and it no longer works. And thank God we've got the 12 next year. That's not saying we're not going to have trouble from time to time with the 12, but I'd much rather be debating, like Brett told me years ago, I'd much rather be debating 13 and 14 than I would 5 and 6.
Absolutely.
So,
and when basketball just went to 68, that cut out the Seth Greenberg protest.
It did. It did. There's no doubt about that. So, really, where Florida State's going to have to go with this, guys, is and I give Heather Dinich credit for this because this was something very important in her article. Was that it says in the end, though the difference between Alabama and Florida State boiled down to the committee's written protocol, particularly the emphasis on strength of schedule, which gave Alabama the edge. And the other thing here, guys, is well, it's actually two things. One, Florida State now needs to redouble their efforts to get out of the conference. But because the strength of schedule has been brought down by the conference. The other thing that's got to be said here is that in 2021, I'll make this brief, when they came up with this silly alliance, part of, with Pac-12, Big Ten, and people forget the ACC was a part of this. But they were very close at that point, guys, of coming up with a 12-team playoff that would start not next year, but this year.
For much more money than next year's rights fee will be because the rights fees have plunged.
Yeah. So really my thing with this is I get the anger, I get the angst. We cover Florida State. I wish they could have gone into but
they were wronged.
Yes, but the reality of this is how do you deal with the overall big picture, and what do you do to change it? Part of it's already been done with the expansion next year, but I'm going to be very curious after some of that anger is channeled into something else, if they don't double down in trying to get out of the conference into a better conference with strength of the schedule.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brent, on that, and I don't think next summer, there's almost no way next summer can have the movement that last summer did with the complete dissolution of the Pac-12. There's no way it can match it. But Florida State will be one of the prime figures out there, and now Michael Alford and their administration and their big money, they can go to everybody and go, never mind that we've got to raise money for facilities. Never mind that we have to raise money for NIL. We got to raise money to pay our way out of this dang thing.
Yes. That is it. There's no doubt about that. Now, ironically enough, people may not realize this, but there's two things going on. They are refurbishing their stadium like everybody else is, and that stadium is supposed to be completed in 2025 for their home opener against Alabama.
Huh, that's some irony, isn't it?
Sure is.
So
that's a good note, Brent.
Yeah,
really
so folks may not have looked ahead enough on that yet, but that's going to be extremely important. And look, I won't belabor the point here too long. But guys, in my thing, Georgia has got enough of a gripe, as anybody does, because a number one team has never been dropped out of the Final Four. So, I mean, if you want to look at these things, and Georgia's been pretty quiet about this, but because Florida State has pretty well they've had the floor, and they've certainly used their time over the last 2 days.
Yeah, no, they absolutely have, and I think there's a lot of ways you could look at this and find issue with what happened on Sunday. But going to that Alabama and Georgia game, what was your biggest takeaway of Alabama going in there after really needing, and we know Iron Bowl always close, always kind of theatrics towards the end of those games, but really needing a miracle late against Auburn, but then going into Atlanta for the SEC championship game and beating Georgia?
Matchups are everything. Bama was a matchup problem with Auburn.
Yeah.
There's way too much eye candy that confused the defense, and I mean I give Auburn credit for what they did, but
I mean they should have won.
Yeah, Georgia, believe it or not, was a better matchup for Alabama than Auburn was, and because they were more conventional, they were more of look. Both Bama and Georgia are built for each other, to face each other and to beat each other.
Yeah. Xerox copies.
Yeah, yes, there's no doubt about that. And that's going to favor Bama against Michigan because they are both similar in that way. I mean, Bryant, frankly, I was surprised that Alabama won, but in a way I wasn't, because they have steadily improved since that South Florida and Texas debacle on the offensive line, obviously with Milroe, and also with their defense. And the thing what was interesting and somewhat surprising was after Georgia's first drive, they adjusted and basically controlled the line of scrimmage. And when you go back those games, whoever controls the line of scrimmage is usually going to win. You can say that in probably every game, particularly that game.
But the rushing, it mattered. In Milroe's improvisation, it really had Georgia hard for them to defend him. And Brent, I'm not by no means. I do not want anything to sound like I'm kind of cracking on Kirby Smart. I love him to death, and I think he's up there as one of the greats already of all time. He's just filling out the back of the football card the rest of the way in his coaching career. But I do think, like a lot of proteges, like a lot of understudies, I do think he looks across that sideline and he sees Olympus. He sees Nick Saban goes from 5'8" to 12'12" when he looks when he look. I think that'd be 13 then if it was 12. He looks over there and he sees a giant. And we saw it with Coach Bryant. We saw it with Coach Bryant against Charlie Mack, against Bill Battle, against Jerry Claiborne, against Jimmy Sharp. We saw it year after year after year that a lot of those teams were better. Brian, I know you remember the day around the holidays 2 years ago, and Coach Bill Battle had his great self-help book around the Christmas holidays, and we had him on, and he told us the story of his. He was 28 years old, and in his first game against Coach Bryant, Tennessee beat him. And he thought, man, I'm going to get to midfield, and Coach Bryant's going to go, I'm so proud of you, and, you're like a son to me. Got to midfield, Coach Bryant said, Battle, you're never beating me again. And he didn't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I really think you're on to something there. That there is, I don't know if I want to call it a mental block necessarily with that, but look, his record against everybody else and his record against Alabama.
Everything gets tighter.
Yeah, yes, it does. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And look, I have been very open about this too. I think when Saban is in Auburn, he coaches differently, frankly. So Brett's point's
that's a good point.
A good one. in that there are mental approaches to this, and I thought this was interesting. Some of the Georgia media really pointed out that they thought that Saban in this game outcoached Kirby, and that Georgia made some basic mistakes in their way they attacked.
Got a little conservative.
Yes, and all the above. But look, Bryant, that's one of those things Brett and I have seen for decades.
Yeah,
it's the battle inside the battle, right? That's as fascinating as anything else, isn't it?
That's right.
And the Georgia fans, and I don't blame them, and me include, a lot of people who talk about the passing of the torch. Saturday would have sealed it. That would have been, I mean, it would have been Kirby's world if it wasn't already. I mean, it wasn't already, but we hit pause on that. Old Nick Saban's got something to say about it. And I know I texted you this and several Alabama friends. Was that the best 2 weeks in Alabama football history?
If it wouldn't, it was certainly close. I mean, I racked my brain
because we used to have a gap, until the bowl game, and I know some big third Saturday in October's, but I don't know about the next week winning in wild fashion. I guess maybe the year the Tennessee fans were throwing their radios in the river when they thought they had it won in '72. I'd have to look up and see who Bama beat the next week, but that was a good 2 weeks.
Well, but your point's a good.
They've had a lot of good 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
because. Of what was it? Look, pretty much what shapes us and what we think are significant wins are the ones that are that have a lot at stake. And I mean, they go down to 4th and 31 with the season on the line, and they come through, and then that just increases the stakes for the next week, and to be able to beat Georgia and to win an SEC title again, and then the next day to actually go into the playoffs. I'm just telling you, Brian, Brett and I have seen this where things can change, whether it's the Heisman Trophy or whether it's any team. I wouldn't have given you a plug nickel for the direction this Alabama team was going, not only after the Texas game, but maybe even more so after the South Florida game at Tampa. And how
we wrote him off, Brent.
Yeah,
we wrote him off, and I said on these airwaves, Bama's going to go to a bowl game this year. Their fans can't imagine, and about 10 of them would go. I said that in September, and that was said by me and many others.
But it's amazing how much a team can improve over the course of a season, and that really is what's happened with this team. It's not just Milroe, and I'll make this brief. It's what they've done with the offensive line and inserting some guys that have made a difference. The defense is attacking the quarterback, and so forth. And look, for how many? Let me see a show of hands on the interstate outside the radio station. How many people would have thought this team would be 2 games away and 2 wins away from a national championship?
Nobody at all. I mean, it's crazy where they've come since the start of the season, what the conversations we were having about this team at the start of the season. Brent Beard, he joins us every single Tuesday, talk college football from First Coast News in Jacksonville. All right, Brent, with the season behind us, now bowl season, playoff season, who do you think right now is in the lead for the Heisman Trophy?
Oh, I think, and again, I'm just giving a general opinion here, especially after I signed that little box, right, Brett?
We agree to it.
Yes, there is no. I don't think there's any doubt that in a lot of people's mind that Jane Daniels is the leader. You really do wonder if he'd had a defense this year, what they could have done.
Man.
And obviously, I mean, Marvin Harrison is tremendous. Bo Nix, and obviously Michael Penix. It's incredible how that Oregon-Washington game, how one game can change your outlook on who you favor for the the Heisman Trophy. Now, look, I know Bo has been criticized a lot, and I get all that. But Bo, to his credit, has really improved since Auburn. Am I wrong, Brett? I mean, he was. Look,
he did, but he had really one way to go.
Yeah, well, I know. Look, Brian, when he was at Auburn, he was literally drawing up plays in the dirt.
It was real bad, Bo.
Yeah. Yes, it really was. So, to his credit, over the last few weeks, he's gotten a lot more accurate. He has played within himself and done well. So I can't criticize him without also giving him some credit.
Here's another thing FSU is going to face out there in recruiting right now. Billy Napier has to be out there recruiting, going, you got it down between us and FSU. Well, you know they're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely. Ever. Yeah. Of course, you know that they will counter with, well, we'll expand to 12 next year, so our chances will be a lot better. But look, your point's a good one. And believe me, and it's probably not only Florida using that against them either, is it?
How many really will be mad a year from now over being excluded from the playoffs? How many will have a legit case?
Well, I mean, there may be one or two, whoever is 13 and 14 or something like that gets hot late. They may be upset, but we're just not going to have anywhere near the angst and the weeping, gnashing of teeth that we've got right now.
No.
Yeah, that was a lot of teeth gnash this week and Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't blame them. I mean, if you reversed everything for your school, think how mad you would be.
Well, look, if you've got, I'm just telling you, and Brett and I've seen this for years within the league.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an SEC team or two left out, they would be rioting in the streets.
It wouldn't be turning to Rick Scott.
No, and I'm not exaggerating about that either, am I, Brett? I mean,
I'm afraid the reaction would be over the top.
Yes,
I
think
the SEC, we're over the top for good and for bad.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any question about that. So, I mean, I'll put it this way: it might be at the point where Sankey would have to come out and actually say something akin to.
I call for peace in the streets. We need calm.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yes.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Brent, last thing for you. We spent a lot of time talking about the college football playoffs, but what bowl game outside of the college football playoffs really caught your eye, maybe involving an SEC or ACC team?
Oh, I think you've got this Missouri-Ohio State game is interesting. My gosh. Look, am I wrong here? If Missouri wins that game, listen, I think Drink would take his shirt off and run around the stadium.
He may go topless and bottomless. A sight no one wants to see.
No, not at all.
And look, the Ole Miss Penn State game is intriguing. I mean, Penn State's got this reputation for the defense, and I get that. And look, for Ole Miss to win and to even improve on the season they've had, I mean, that would be quite impressive, along that line, too. Now, there's some others, LSU, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Iowa. I mean, I will keep up with it, but I'll probably take a nap in between some point in those games.
Yeah, at some point you got to go make new, fresh Rotel. I mean, that might be the point in those games. But Brent, I mean, a startling number for me today: Ohio State 2-12 in bowl games against the SEC. I would say they don't matter either, and I would talk about how close the game was to Georgia last year if I was 2-12.
Oh yeah, and there's no doubt about that. And look, there's some intrigue with the Georgia-Florida State game. But look, that it's still just a bowl game, and whoever wins that game doesn't prove that they belonged any more than the loser would prove that they didn't. Mm-hmm. So I hope it's a good game. There would be some interest about that all along. So and listen, guys, I watched that Texas-Oklahoma State game. Mm-hmm. The three of us and whoever's in the studio plays better defense than Oklahoma State.
Oh, man. After Bedlam, Oklahoma State said, that's it, folks. That's the season.
Boy, Brent, did someone else get those jerseys and come out and play defense?
Gundy said, my work here is done after beating OU.
I did it.
Look, I like Gundy, and I appreciate him in a lot of ways. But I mean, that was one of the biggest mismatches on a. I mean, sometimes you're just not very good, and sometimes you just don't show up. They just didn't show up.
No, they didn't, and made it real easy for Texas in that one on Saturday. Oh man, real easy. But Brent, thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again next week.
I'll tell you one thing, we need a roster every day as I go out here on this, my Lord, this transfer thing.
Unbelievable.
I don't check Twitter every 5 minutes, but I know there are people at universities who do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to have to because there's going to be people starting in bowl games that wouldn't start in a spring game.
Nope.
No, I agree with that totally. But by the way, Brent, one more thing. I saw the picture of you on Twitter as y'all were doing the show and saw the Christmas tree near you.
Right.
Now, the thought came up.
Heck yeah.
Now, if Mama was here, would she tell you, Brent, there needs to be less lights on that tree, or there needs to be a lot more lights on that tree? What approach would she have taken?
Something would be wrong, I can assure you.
That's what I'm getting at.
I can assure you.
Or could the star not be positioned correctly?
Again, something. But there's a lot of lights, though.
Yes, it's all lit up.
I couldn't help it. Forgive me, but I couldn't help it.
You got it. All good, man.
Oh,
thank you, Brother Brent.
Great sight. Thanks, Brent.
Take care.
Have a great week, man.
Brent Beard joining us every single week from First Coast News in Jacksonville to talk college football. Always fun with Brent. But I'll tell you what's going to be a lot of fun, Brett. This Friday, we're going to be at Cordova Ace Hardware, 1740 Germantown Parkway, right behind Corky's for the Big Green Egg early Christmas at Cordova Ace Hardware.
We're cooking everything.
Yeah, we're cooking literally everything. This Friday, December 8th, from 11 a.m., so John Harden's going to be out there as well. I know he was talking about this earlier, to 6 p.m. when we're done with our show. We're going to be sampling tenderloin, wings, pizza, dessert, all cooked on the Big Green Egg. Come out, try all this great food on the Big Green Egg. Try their new sauces, seasonings, and check out their platinum selection of Big Green Egg equipment and Big Green Egg accessories. And we can also get hundreds of dollars off a large egg, $150 off an extra large egg, $50 off the Egg Genius, and up to $70 off the Eggs Pander kits. We're giving away Big Green Egg door prizes and tons of giveaways, so make sure you come out and visit with us at the Cordova Ace Hardware Friday, December 8th from 11 to 6. Let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we got to talk about what we're certain of after another week of action in both college football and the NFL. We'll do that next.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
My Westies.
WestiesMemphis.com.
Westies Hot Fudge Pie. By now, you know we're famous for a hot fudge pie. But have you tried the new Cajun Alfredo?
The new spicy on our menu.
Fettuccine noodles, homemade Alfredo, sliced bell peppers, diced green onions, smoked sausage, and Cajun sauteed shrimp? Are you kidding me? Wow. What you said?
Often imitated,
never duplicated.
The new Cajun Alfredo.
Only at the North End's Westies.
Oh my, so good.
We deliver 7 nights a week. Downtown Memphis.
Oh my.
Open late till 2 a.m.
So good.
Join us December 7, 8, and 9 for our 40th anniversary celebration. Festivities kick off at 6 p.m. nightly. Old friends, new friends, and hot fudge pie.
I have lots of fragrance lovers on my list, and Ulta Beauty has all I need to add joy to their holiday season. Shop your favorite fragrances from YSL, Carolina Herrera, Valentino, and Ariana Grande's new exclusive Cloud Pink scent. Plus, with a fragrance purchase of $70 or more, get a plush robe or throw, valued at $70, while supplies last. Shop the gifts that bring joy to everyone on your list this holiday season, especially you. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now, this is the weather Sunrise was made for. You can enjoy sunrise downtown on Jefferson or sunrise east on Poplar all year long. But there's something special about tucking into a hot, fresh, delicious breakfast when there's just a bit of cool in the air. It's true for lunch, too. There's nothing like a perfect burger when you've got your coat hanging on the back of your chair. You know the food at both Sunrise locations is made just for you when you order it. And now you can enjoy it while you're not being outside in the cold. Warm up with some Sunrise.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and we've got to talk about what we're certain of after another weekend of action in college football and the NFL. I guess soon, Brett, we're going to just be what we are certain of in the NFL.
We're getting down to it. The bowl season ahead for college football, and this week, just one game, the Army-Navy game. What a game that would be. That'll be in Foxborough at the home of the Patriots.
Yeah.
And it's an impossible ticket. You go out there and look at the value of the pricing on that. It's probably the most expensive Army-Navy ticket ever. And Saturday night, the Heisman Trophy ceremony and the reveal, the unveil. Got a text from our good friend Pat Donahue at the Rendezvous. Shout out Pat Donahue. Love him, love the Rendezvous. He said, hey, man, send me the Christmas tree pic. I love Brent Beard. He said, I want to see so I sent back the mostly Ole Miss smaller tree that's right there.
Right.
That's got a lot of lights on
Sure.
it. And then the bigger sports themed tree.
Yes.
Look, I know the reason for the season, but I just have my trees like that. And I mean that sincerely. I do know it. And Brett talking about my late mother, she had tons of Christmas stuff. So I got a lot of that after she passed away. And I really like putting it all up and enjoying it. But in the late 80s, early 90s, before I quit drinking, she came by my house then, and that's when I had my Budweiser empty can theme tree. And she came by one time and said, can we not grow out of this? Can we not move on from this?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that. No, I mean, it's a beautiful tree. I tell you, and I was gonna say this to Brent. I mean, it makes me happy every afternoon at 3:00 when we get on here and I see the Christmas tree in the background. It makes me festive.
I put everything up. I got home from the Ole Miss ULM game on Sunday afternoon, the 19th, and did all that because I knew I was going to be really busy that week. I wanted it all up where I could enjoy it for the holidays. By 10 o'clock on the 26th, you wouldn't know it ever happened.
Really?
I don't know who timed out the holiday season, but I can hear "Oh Holy Night" and look at the lights about one more time at some magic moment on the 25th.
Interesting. See, I'm very different. Everything gets going in November, and I don't take things down until like the New Year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
New Year's Day is big for a lot of people. The Friday I went to the Arkansas-Mizzou game, picked up a friend of mine in Little Rock, and we left his neighborhood that morning about 10 o'clock in Little Rock, and everybody was outside putting things up. When we got back that night, it was dark and all the lights were up. I mean, it was presto. I mean, and that Saturday and last weekend, big weekends to get stuff up.
Absolutely, and I like seeing all the lights.
Have you been to Graceland yet? Have you driven by?
I haven't. I will.
Driven by yet. I always go out that way.
Yeah.
At least once during the holidays, and I will before. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. I try to make it by there at least once to see all the lights. They had some sort of thing on NBC the other night, like Christmas at Graceland, where they had a bunch of popular singers at Graceland performing and stuff like that.
They were out there live?
They were out there live, but you couldn't go out and see them because they were kind of in the house, around the house. It was different things.
Did they tape it in June?
No. I think.
Okay.
I don't know when they taped it, but they taped it very recently. You could tell everyone was kind of cold, and they were all there together.
Well, sometimes Hollywood can make it appear to be cold.
That's very true, but I think it seemed like it was recent, but I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I mean, I was not a fan of it.
I like everybody's tree. I even like, you go to the convenience store and they got the little bitty tree up that you can tell somebody put it up in about 2 seconds with not a whole lot of thought. I like them.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever tree you have up, I like it.
Anything Christmas, I tend to like.
I say that. I was at a convenience store the other day, and the tree was a white tree with all the decorations blue.
Okay.
I loved it.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, hey, why not? It's very hard for me to dislike something Christmas themed.
Me too.
I
like the wreaths up.
Yeah.
Now, my neighbors, I mean, I'm the fuddy-duddy in my neighborhood. A couple of my neighbors are very elaborate with the lights and stuff, and I've got a wreath on the front door and a wreath on the back door, and that's
right.
it.
Hey, I like it. Hey, everyone's different, and that's okay.
I just can't imagine me on a ladder. Something really bad would happen.
Yeah, no, probably.
With electricity, me on a ladder. No.
Probably a good idea.
I don't know how this ends, but I know how to prevent it.
Yes, that's probably a good idea, Brett. What are you certain of in college football this after this week?
Well, I'm certain that bowl season's here.
Yeah.
And while it's not the end-all, be-all for the bowl season anymore, I don't think we should take hard conclusions from bowl records. But I don't see the SEC any better than 5-4, 4-5 in these bowl games. It's some tough matchups. Motivations are different, and rosters are very different. Now that's for everyone, but I do know this: if the SEC goes 6-3 or better in the bowls and kind of strut around about it, we'll hear the siren call of they don't matter.
Yep.
If they go 2-7, it suddenly matters.
That's right. No, that's how it goes every year, Brett. And this year we'll certainly not be any different. One thing I'm certain of, after this weekend. Washington is still underrated. I mean, we talked all week last week, 9.5 points, 10-point dog in that game against Oregon, an Oregon team that they beat earlier this season already, an Oregon team that they beat last year when they played them, but because Oregon had been playing better and Washington had just been winning, Oregon was a massive favorite, and really that was a 3-point win for Washington. Very easily could have been a 10-point win for them if they had kind of not taken the foot off the gas pedal there at the
they were just trying to land the airplane.
Yeah, they were just trying to finish the game, and so Washington, very impressive of what they've done, but still going into the college football playoffs, still a little underrated.
And all week, really since the conclusion of the regular season game against Oregon, the whole college football commentary, wait to the rematch, to the rematch. There are a lot of reports out now that Washington saw and heard all that, and they were plenty motivated by it. Whether or not Jaden Daniels wins Saturday night, I think he's already in the club of immortals. Saturday night will confirm it, but I've said I think he's there with Joe Burrow, Billy Cannon, Burt Jones, Jim Taylor. Pick your great LSU players out. Tommy Casanova, many. I mean, it's too many to mention, but whether he wins Saturday night or not, he's there.
No,
after 2 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. What he's done this year has been really fun to watch and a very exciting player. Brett, I'm certain that we got what we could have only hoped for in the Big Ten championship game last week. A Michigan cover and the under hitting once again in an Iowa
that was
football
a rarity
game. I mean, I didn't know if I saw it coming.
That was kind of scoregami inside scoregami, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, anytime you get one of those low totals and you can get a team to cover and still the under, I mean, unbelievable. What I don't care what you think about Iowa football, it is some sort of art watching them play every week.
It is, but again, the object is to win.
That's right.
They won 10 times in a division.
That's right. Yeah, they win games.
I don't know how bad a year that really can be. Sunday in the NFL, we had a 6-0 game with the Chargers winning 6-0 over the Patriots, and I thought that might be scoregami unique. Well, then it makes sense, especially back in the really early days, 20s and 30s, and even into the 40s. A boatload of 6-0 games in the NFL.
Yes.
Because nobody had a reliable kicker, and there was a lot of 2-point tries.
Yes. No, you're right about that.
And the kicking surfaces were very different.
Very different. In that game, that game Sunday between the Chargers and the Patriots. It's an ugly game, and I'm certain, Brett, when you have to turn to Bailey Zappi, your season's over, and that's what we saw for the Patriots on Sunday.
What happens with Mac Jones? He goes somewhere and gets a chance, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got to, but it just has not worked out in New England at all.
That's mine. I'm certain it's over for Bill Belichick in New England. They move apart. Nobody says you're fired anymore. They move apart. They moved away from however you Now, I just wonder, though, I'm not certain of this. This is a question. Do they have the press conference that he gets to say farewell to Mr. Kraft and to his late wife and to the Jonathan Kraft and all the or does Belichick kind of go full Bobby Knight and tell everybody what you can do with it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would probably bet the second one is not unlikely.
Especially if he wants to, if he wants to coach next year.
Yeah.
If he's planning on coaching next year, I don't think it's any hugs and kisses presser.
No, I don't think so either. No, I would not think that it would be anything very very kind. Another thing, Brett, I'm certain of, Dak Prescott. Really good, and he's playing really well.
Quarterback, our Cowboys.
I mean, what can I say?
One helmet, 2 stars on it.
What can I say? I mean, what else do you want in a quarterback? I've never, I really, and Johnny, I'm glad you're here to hear this. I'm
glad Johnny's part of the team.
I'm glad he is too, and Johnny,
on board.
Just so I can let you know I'm on the same page of you. I hate when people try to tear down Dak Prescott and talk about he's not a great quarterback and that he can't get the job done, and that they would prefer somebody else as the quarterback for their football team. I can't stand it when someone sits in front of their family on Thanksgiving and starts listing off quarterbacks they would rather have quarterback the Dallas Cowboys other than Dak Prescott.
Well, there is a couple quarterbacks I personally would like to have.
You know who did that?
Who did that?
I did.
Oh,
but I love
that
Dak
was
Prescott
you
today. Dak
Wrong
Prescott.
with
Oh,
you, bro.
wait one
My
second.
quarterback. My
That
quarterback.
was you?
Yep, my quarterback.
You're not a real fan.
No, I hate people like that, Brett. I mean,
See,
it's my
you,
quarterback. He's playing great. I mean,
you're what's wrong with the Cowboys,
look at the
man.
stats.
You're what's wrong with the Cowboys.
MVP
Me and Johnny are
conversation.
we're what is right about the Cowboys.
I'm sorry, hey Brett.
Diehard fans like us.
Hey Brett, I'm sorry. I recently, like I told you, I went on a visit to the 49ers. Hey man, hey,
Johnny's shopping around.
I'm shopping, man. I'm shopping around, man.
Johnny was spot on. What else I was certain about the 49ers are really good. I
That-
mean,
hey, they're the best team to me, man. I
Does
don't
Michael
see one.
Parsons really want that rematch?
Oh man, I don't know.
Hey Brett, say that for the people in the back. Do he really want that?
Did
Brett,
do they really want that rematch? I don't think so.
No.
And it is boiled down to now. I'm certain of this: to win the Super Bowl, to win it all. What are we down to? About 3 or 4 teams, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really boiled down, hadn't it?
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. I know John earlier today on his show, he was kind of ranking his teams right now in the NFL, and it was 3 NFC teams before he got to the first AFC team. So I mean, we're starting to get down to only a few teams in that conversation. Bo Marchant usually puts out his 2 teams that he has as favorites. We'll talk to him.
Sure will.
In about,
Jacksonville got eliminated last night.
Sure
I think.
did, yeah. And so we'll talk to him, get his thoughts on who's still remaining.
A lot of
in about
potential
20 minutes.
playoff teams remain,
Sure.
though.
Absolutely.
To get in the tournament, but to win it all.
Yes.
And we have the very real chance, very real. We got it in college football, my 21st century winners.
Yeah.
We could have an all newbie to not win it in the 21st century final in college football, Michigan and Washington.
Oh, all right. I would like that.
Texas and Bama, they both have Bama
Sure.
many times. In the NFL, I know they've won it a bunch, and they're proud of all their trophies, but not in the 21st century. San Francisco's real.
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, that's a real possibility. But I'm excited to talk NFL here in a little bit at 5:00. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. Be sure to schedule your delivery for the next game at hogsfly.com or come visit us in the alley.
This holiday season, give the gift of Gould's with a Gould's gift card for someone you love. It's the perfect gift for everyone. The Gould's gift card doesn't just send wishes, it grants them in store and online. Just come to any Gould's and pick up a gift card or go to GouldSalonSpa.com to purchase online. That's GouldSalonSpa.com. Happy holidays from Gould's. Gould's Salon Spa, locally owned and operated since 1932.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whether it's date night, a birthday, or just because, raise a steak in celebration at Ruth's Chris. Open in the Regalia Shopping Center at the corner of Poplar and Ridgeway. Treat yourself to one of our classic USDA prime beef steaks, seasoned and broiled to perfection. Then serve sizzling hot on one of Ruth's signature 500-degree plates. Visit Ruth'sChris.com to make a reservation. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Memphis. This is how celebrating more is done.
Grizz Nation, tip off the holiday season this Friday at 7 p.m. when Jer and Dez and your Grizzlies battle the Minnesota Timberwolves. Snag holiday deals starting at $35 for Plaza Level and $10 for Big River Steel Terrace. Secure your tickets today by calling 901-888-HOOP or visiting Grizzlies.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, I'm excited for my big number today. It is 2. 2 is my big number.
That's
today.
one bigger than yesterday, so it's growing.
Right, it's growing. Maybe tomorrow will be 3. Now I'm going to be on the search for
It doubled
number
today.
3.
Well, tomorrow will be 4. Tomorrow's going to be 4 for Dak.
Oh, hey, you never know. That's my quarterback right there.
Hey, I like it, Brett. 4 for Dak.
4 for
That's
Dak.
it.
Why not?
Double every day. Then 8 for Troy Aikman.
I like it.
Then 16 for
We'll cross that bridge when we get
Steve
there.
Pallure, maybe.
Well, yeah.
32 for old Walt Garrison.
That's right. I mean, old Walt. How could you forget?
64, Tom Rafferty, lineman in the 70s.
That's right. I mean, all the way up, and then it'll get a little tricky when we get to the triple-digit numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll cross
Number
that
of
bridge.
wins. We'll go to win number 128 in Cowboys history.
That's
What was
right.
that?
I don't know. We'll figure it out, and that will be our game of the day. And
There's
we'll
your
talk about
theme.
it.
The rest of the
I
year
like
on big number.
I like it. Thank you, Brett. My big number today, though, is 2 because today is the second day that players have been allowed to enter the NCAA transfer portal in college football. And these numbers are from last night at about 9 o'clock. Last night, there were already 1,183 FBS players that have entered the NCAA transfer portal. And that was
It's about 11 a team.
It is, and that's just day 1 of the 30-day portal window. We're now on day number 2. And I saw this also last night. As of, what time was this? 11 o'clock last night, there were 117 SEC players in the transfer portal. Only one team in the SEC, Brett, currently has no players in the transfer portal. I guess that would change, but I guess he doesn't count because he went into the lacrosse transfer portal, and that is Alabama, according to this tweet. According to this tweet, Alabama, as of last night at 11 o'clock, had 0 players in the football transfer portal.
And they'll have some after the bowl.
Sure, they'll definitely have some after the bowl.
Remember, Jermaine Burton left Georgia in the middle of the national championship parade to go to Bama.
Yes, so no, that will certainly change, but it seems like a lot of that team wanting to stick together during this college football playoffs. Looking at some other numbers in here, Arkansas with 11 at the time of this tweet, Ole Miss with 5 at the time, but the leader in the clubhouse, Brett, and you've seen it, if anybody's been on social media, Vanderbilt with 16 at the time. I'm pretty sure that's changed since then, has gone up.
And people just cherry picking.
Yeah, I mean, both quarterbacks, starter and backup this season, are gone.
Wide receivers.
Will Shepard, who was their great receivers in the portal, another great receiver they had, is in the transfer portal. So, it's going to be rough for Vandy.
And Vandy, they ought to be able, if they wanted to make that commitment, just like facilities. We've waited forever for Vandy to make a facilities commitment, and they have. They have finally done that. They could if they wanted to. That's not them. My big number, 1967. No, not the year. It's combined wins for Michigan and Alabama. They'll meet in the Rose Bowl game. 1,002 wins for Michigan, 965 for Alabama. For Texas against Washington, it's 948 for Texas against 773 for the Huskies. So in this Final Four, we have 1, 2, 4, and 26 all-time in college football history in wins.
Wow.
Brett does it again. Brett, I am telling you, man, we need to get an element with just half claps every time, man. Because you never miss. You never miss, man. I love it. Every time we do these big numbers, nothing against you, Brian, it's okay.
Like it.
But none
Johnny,
against
I think I got an advantage, though. Here's the advantage. I go second, and that's the last thing. we got to swap it up, Bryant.
You know what? Maybe you're right. You normally go second. We need to flip it.
We'll flip it. What's today? Tuesday,
Brett,
the rest of the week, Brett's going first.
But Brett, you don't miss, man. I love it.
Thank you, Johnny.
I love it.
You know, Johnny, used to everyone would get mad when I didn't go first. You know,
not mad. They
wanted me to go first, and so I've just always gone first.
Brad, why?
I didn't get mad. I just thought you were, and you are. I thought you were being too nice and deferential, and you should be going first.
Well, hey.
Brian, why did
you're the host?
Brian, that felt like an excuse. I'm not trying to say it, but it felt like a little bit of an excuse, man.
Good Lord.
I love you, Brian, but that kind of felt like an excuse.
And during the break, Johnny told us their tree is up, and I know one of the big packages Santa's going to deliver for you, Johnny, a Dak Prescott jersey.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Maybe a 10-gallon cowboy hat. I mean,
Johnny, I've been meaning to tell you. I thought of you a lot at Mississippi State.
Really?
Because I asked you when you worked so hard in student equipment for the University of Memphis. I asked you what was the best opposing locker room, and you said Mississippi State.
It is, man.
And it really is, because that used to be their home locker room before they went to the northwest corner.
Interesting.
And I've never seen it.
Hey.
Shockingly, they won't allow me in the Mississippi State locker room, but they tell me that it is mind blowing how great it is, and what they left for now the opposition is great.
It's really good.
Yes, man, it's amazing, big, like it's very comfortable. It's the best visiting locker room.
And it's got a plaque to Dak up in it, but
really?
but now it's the opposing.
That's hilarious.
And I asked one of the Ole Miss equipment managers, student managers, I said, I'm glad nobody did anything goofy like cover that up. I mean, he had a great career here, and it should be up.
Yeah, it should be. That's awesome. I did not know they had a good opposing locker room. I didn't know the history of their opposing locker room.
I'm going to say A&M wins by 10 miles over everybody in the SEC. State's close. They're next.
Interesting. Well, might have to rank or you might have to rank. You and Johnny might have to rank y'all's opposing locker room.
Before the remodel, Vandy was last by 99 miles.
Yikes!
Honestly, next to last, Ole Miss for visiting locker room.
Wow.
And trust me, that ain't changing.
No.
There's not any budget dollars to make the visitors locker room great.
I believe it, and I don't think that's on anybody's list. It's let's go make the opposing.
They're not trying to make them comfortable.
I'm telling y'all, A&M's is too nice. It is too nice.
Interesting, huh? I'm gonna have to go try to find some
just the
pictures of
medical unit at A&M, apart from the dressing shower area, things like that. Just the medical unit for taping ankles, or the X-ray room.
Wow. I need to try to find some pictures of their opposing locker room, because Brett, you make it sound like it's the Taj Mahal of
it is, and it wasn't before the Kyle Field redo.
Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up this hour. Get to a break. When we come back, we're talking NFL with Bo Marchant.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles, ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
It's a Big Green Egg early Christmas at Cordova Ace Hardware, Friday, December 8th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll cook tenderloin, wings, pizza, and dessert all on the Big Green Egg. Try our new sauces and seasonings and check out the platinum selection of Big Green Egg equipment and accessories. Get $100 off the large egg, $150 off the extra large egg, $50 off the Egg Genius, and up to $70 off the Egg Expander kits. The Big Green Egg early Christmas party, Friday, December 8th, 11 to 6 at Cordova Ace Hardware, 1740 North Germantown.
The year might be coming to a close, but Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
My Westies.
WestiesMemphis.com.
Westies Hot Fudge Pie. By now, you know we're famous for a hot fudge pie. But have you tried the new Cajun Alfredo?
The new spicy on our menu.
Fettuccine noodles, homemade Alfredo, sliced bell peppers, diced green onions, smoked sausage, and Cajun sauteed shrimp? Are you kidding me? Wow. What you said?
Often imitated,
Never duplicated.
the new Cajun Alfredo.
Only at the North End's Westies.
Oh my, so good.
We deliver 7 nights a week.
Downtown Memphis.
Oh my.
Open late till 2 a.m.
So good.
Join us December 7, 8, and 9 for our 40th anniversary celebration. Festivities kick off at 6 p.m. nightly. Old friends, new friends, and hot fudge pie.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo Lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps, fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. There's a couple of wrecks out here right now. We're seeing some lingering congestion on 240 east from, let's say, Perkins to 385. It's picked up again on 55 south across the bridge over from West Memphis. It's just that time of day right now for it to get heavy, and it is on 40 east from Sycamore View Road all the way up past Germantown Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, located 7525 Highway 64. Shop local this holiday season. Go by and see them right now at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. National Football League talk every Tuesday with Bo Marchant, covering the NFL Draft at collegetopro.com and the NFL Draft Bible, covering the Steelers for Sports Illustrated, living and running in Eastern Ohio, and on Twitter X at Bo Marchant. Here's Bo with Bryant and Brett.
Bo Marchant joins us now to talk the NFL. And, Bo, me and Brett were talking about this earlier, and Brett brought up this question. This far into the season, after all of what you've seen so far in the NFL, how many teams in the NFL can realistically, in your eyes, make and or win the Super Bowl?
Let's see. AFC, I'd say... Let's see, I go into Division AFC East, I'd go Miami, Buffalo. The North, I'd go Baltimore. The South, I wouldn't go anybody. I'd go West Kansas City. So I think that's, 4? On the NFC side, let's see, I'll go with the NFC East, Philly, Dallas. I don't think anybody in the North I don't think anybody in the South, and then I'll say San Francisco. So 3 in the East and 4, so 7. 7 teams.
Okay, 7 to make it. How many can win it?
Those are all the 7 I think
Okay,
can win.
So you still think Buffalo could win it all? Buffalo, they're really in a kind of a funny, a goofy position. They're the 11 seed, 6-6, but they scare the daylights out of everybody.
Yeah, and they do, and they have the thing that their upcoming schedules. They got a real bear of a schedule coming up, and that might derail just the teams with weaker schedules. I'm looking now. I mean, they come out of the bye week with the Chiefs. They go to Kansas City. They're home for the Cowboys. And then they got the Chargers, Patriots.
But anything at home is their advantage because it's getting ready to be real winter.
Yep, and so I just think Buffalo. Buffalo kind of. I know San Francisco. The way they looked against the Eagles over the weekend is the way they looked when they started the season out 5-0, and we thought they were the best team in football, and now they look to appear to be that team again after the 3-game skid. But Buffalo was that team at one point. They lost the opener, they won 3, they looked really good. So I just think they're that scary team. You know what? I put it this way: I think it's kind of like Alabama being in the Final Four. I don't care what the 3 of those teams are. The last thing you want to see is Nick Saban in Alabama, and I kind of think
that's a fact.
You heard Michigan groan.
Yeah. So
no, them.
Yeah, I mean that's like, well, you won the boxing match, and they get to the title, you got to fight Tyson.
That's right.
Really,
great.
Like Tyson?
Yeah.
So but I
I'm
think
gonna get killed.
That team. Yeah.
Yeah, but after all of the back and forth the past couple of days about who should be in the college football playoffs, that's really the one that I think everyone can agree on is no matter who you think should or should not be in, nobody wants to play Nick Saban in a game that has a trophy at the very end. It's just doesn't work out. To me, it's I mean, we saw it. We know the Auburn game was very fluky. You probably know that path. Yeah, so, but they did it, but they beat Georgia fair and square, and we know Georgia's a heck of a team, 29 on a road, the last 2 titles, phenomenal team. And not to get off subject to the NFL, but I just think this is a particular year where there was too many good teams. I'm disappointed Georgia's not in it. I mean, the rank them 6th, I think, is a little ludicrous, to be honest with you. But
Ohio State loses by 6 at Michigan, and they weren't even discussed Sunday.
Yeah, Bama beating Georgia just threw it into a spiral. If Georgia wins, Bama's out, so you can kind of get in there, and then and we know the knock on Florida State, with Travis being hurt, and that. But I think when we watch the games, you'll be appreciative that it might be a closer game than a kind of a Florida State team that was struggling the last couple of weeks, despite winning. They know they did it, and I know they want conferences and everything, but just because you're in a certain conference, I kind of look at it as how should I put it? It's they won the ACC. Well, I mean, but the ACC we know it's not very good right now. So we could argue a lot of other divisions, but it was a tough call for Bill Hancock and all those guys to get that right, and it's a selection, so it's not sort of all the other formats that we're accustomed to seeing. Where in the NFL, if you're 9-3 and you beat the other opponent, then you win out and you're guaranteed that spot. This is a selection committee, and it's a little bit of when people are voting, there's always going to be a discrepancy.
I'm assuming you saw Pitt play Florida State at Acrisure Stadium. Did you?
Yes, I did.
And they had Jordan Travis that day. They won 24-7. Bo, ball. What kind of team were you seeing?
I didn't think I saw a team that was, wow, like this is a high caliber team. So, they look good, but sometimes Pitt has those weird games where they play a little bit above who they are.
Yeah.
But I just put it this way: I think if Georgia would have came into Acrisure Stadium that same night, I would have left there going, "Wow, I just saw one heck of a football team," and then I just didn't get that impression. So
that was right in that stretch of the season when Pat Narduzzi went to the media and said how bad his team stunk.
Yeah, it was.
What a motivational ploy he tried.
That's right.
Yeah, and let's see. I got my computer out real quick. Let's see. Let's just go to Florida State. I'll give you my Florida State notes on. Let's see, Florida State. We're going to go to Travis. Oh my God, but I had Javerse. So Jordan Travis. Let's see what I put about. Throws right-handed, had a durable-looking body, not too skinny or long, moves well laterally in the pocket, wrist flicks the ball, pocket and presence is a plus. Didn't throw exactly at times, didn't impress me much, and I put a lot of passes were off target. So that was just a quick synopsis of Jordan Travis. Then.
Oh, that's it right there.
I like it.
That is. All right, Bo, please tell me before I lose my mind. On Sunday, the long weather delay. People ask me, when am I going to hang it up? When am I going to get enough? And I tell them I'm about one weather delay when there's not a cloud in the sky away from that being the moment that does it. Please tell me that delay was necessary, that if it had been your call, you would have stopped the game and had people seek safe areas.
It was.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. And the first one, the storms were coming through, and it was funny. The Chris Pohl, the guy sitting next to the guy in front of us, Sean McClellan, he lives in Vegas. He comes in for the games, and his flight was at 7:00. And I wasn't even aware that there was bad weather coming, but they were aware to it. And then because Sean turned around, he said, "I guarantee I missed my flight because we're going to get a delay." And lo and behold, we got the delay, and lo and behold, he missed his flight. He had to fly out the next day. But it was definitely warranted. The strangest part about it, Brett, was if you're sitting in the press box looking north, or I should say looking west or east. If you're in the press box looking east, everything behind us, it was sunny. If you walked outside, you could see it. But if you looked, across and through the city, it was dark and black and raining. It was so crazy that. You could see like the Science Center across the street behind the press box, and it was like clear skies. The storm was just that on the, tip of the city and the stadium. It was kind of crazy.
Wow. Okay. So much needed.
Good. I needed it because I sat through one last year that was a weather delay that you had to apply sunscreen during it.
Yeah,
I'm joking when I say this. Actually, it was totally unwarranted. I just don't want to see you hang them up, Brett. I want to keep you around.
But the weather delays when there's one small, like if it's over Oxford, like that one last year against Tulsa, and there was a small cell like over Henning, Tennessee, and Bo, that would be a long way away. I'm going, why are we stopped?
Yeah, no, stuff was blowing across like some of the like garbage type cans and stuff on the field were blowing across. Like that's
when you hit the deck, when you got stuff flying around, no doubt.
Yeah. So the second one was really, the gusts were. I was in the box, so I don't know, but looking out the window, it's probably proper that they did what they did, and everyone took shelter just to be safe.
Kenny Pickett gonna be back this year?
I don't know why he would be. It's 2 to 4 weeks, and even if he comes back for the final week in Baltimore, they're 7-5 now. You kind of got to wonder if that's why bring him back. There's so much talk about Aaron Rodgers, and granted, he's an MVP several times over, but I don't know why you bring Kenny Pickett back for one game. And listen, I don't know if they lose that much, Brett, with Mitchell Trubisky there. The offense is still bad.
Bo, man, that's a tough sell for me. I just remember old buddy Mitch Mitchell. Now, come on now, he screams bad. He screams average.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, when Pickett went down, it's not the level. Wow, like Trevor Lawrence went down last night. Jack Browning playing great, but Mahomes goes down, an Allen type goes down, like. It changes the complexity of what the team's going to do. When Pickett goes down, the offense isn't playing well anyways. They were miserable before he got hurt. So it's one of those things like how bad it's already at the bottom, right? So when you're not doing well, anything might help. So and I hope he gets back to health. I like Pickens, but at the end of the day, I don't think they lose that much in terms of. I think Pickett brings an energy, and that is important, and they believe in him. They may not think so, believe in them like with Trubisky, but there's a lot of Johnson and the receivers. Pickens has his days where he gets a little aggravated. We've seen him do his stuff with his media this season, so those guys are frustrated as well offensively. And if Trubisky can find them the ball and they can, score a little bit, especially, this week, Thursday night, a bad Patriots team, though. The funny thing is the Patriots, I saw a stat, I don't know where I saw, but they're the only team in the history of the NFL or something where they've allowed, so many points, 10 points or less in the last 4 weeks, and they've lost all 4 games. So I'm anticipating, if you're a bettor, definitely bet the under Thursday night.
It's probably a good bet. Bo, when's it time to start looking out for the Packers? They've now won 3 straight, 4 of their last 5. Is it time to kind of keep an eye on these guys?
I think so. I mean, if they continue to play the way they looked against the Chiefs, which was phenomenal, I think it'd be a discredit to say no. And you start looking down the Vikings are, how long can they keep playing at a higher level with Joshua Dobbs? I think the NFC South, that's whoever wins that division will probably have a losing record. And then you got the Rams, who you got Stafford down there, and the Seahawks at 6-6. So that wild card spot with those 3 teams, the Packers, Seahawks, and Rams, that's going to be a fun race to watch as we got 5 games I think left in the year. So
wow,
4 games.
I know they should. Jordan Love and LaFleur spike the ball a little bit on Aaron Rodgers.
I'm sorry, Brett, I didn't hear that.
Should they spike the ball? Should they kind of call out Aaron Rodgers?
I guess I don't know. If I was them, if I was those guys, I mean, I would just want to get away from anything.
I would too. Just play ball.
Yeah, just play ball, and because it's going to get back to Aaron. He's going to go on the McAfee show, and then he's going to go in a roundabout way to sarcastically or however he wants to deliver what he says in some cryptic fashion, where you don't know if he really laid blame to them or did something. So I would just kind of now, my one pastor always told me, just do the right thing always.
Turn the cheek, move on.
Yeah, just move on and be the right person. That way, at the end of the day, nobody could come back and say, hey, you went about this the wrong way. So
a lot more likely that Aaron Rodgers is puffy in the offseason toward the Packers than Love LaFleur that they would be toward him.
Oh, definitely. I could see that. But he seems happy. He seems like a new player. And I mentioned before, I think it's probably like being in a relationship. You're not happy with who you're with, and now we've seen it. I know I've just seen it with people I know. Yeah. They're in relationships and they get out of it and they're in like a new person. So we knew he was unhappy in Green Bay, and he went to New York, and he's very happy. And look how eager he is to get back on the field for a really lousy Jets team. So I mean, and that's the competitor, and I just think he's anxious just to. Maybe you don't want him to get hurt again, and I think that would be a real anomaly if it did. But at 4-8, they're not going to turn it around for them to make an impact. For them to save the season. But I think it'd be good for Jets fan and maybe the team and Rodgers himself just to get some snaps under center, and if he comes back and maybe see where they go from here with Aaron Rodgers, because I think that's a good. How would you say? You still want to see what you have. Right. He still hasn't played a game in a Jets uniform.
He told Pat McAfee today the real Christmas miracle, him back December 24th.
That would be the Christmas miracle. Yeah, that would be that'll be great. And I am so thankful the Steelers play on Saturday. They play Saturday, so not Sunday or Monday. So I'm very fortunate that the Steelers will be playing Saturday.
You play Saturday the 23rd.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you. Good for you. That helps the family time.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be real nice.
Yeah.
Talking to Bo Marchant. He joins us every Tuesday to talk NFL. And what are we, about 16, 17 minutes into our segment, Bo? This might be a personal record for me without asking a Dallas Cowboys question, but I'm going to give up at this point. Talk to me about this weekend's game, Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles coming off that loss to the 49ers. But I will say, that was when the game, Cowboys versus Eagles, was really when we saw Dak Prescott start this tear of games that he's on, where he's looked really, really good. What do you expect this Sunday between those two teams?
Yeah, it should be a barn burner. It's a big game.
Yeah.
That loss to the 49ers, now it puts the heat on Philly to try to keep pace with 49ers, because we know the 49ers now have the, if they all finish with the same record, obviously the 49ers get the 1 seed. So Dallas, they're playing great, and I know they gave up 35 to the Seahawks on Thursday night, but that was a game where they had to win it, and they just played in the fashion where you just felt they were able to do it, and I thought that was a big win. I thought that might have been a bigger win than even if I know if they would have beat the Eagles early in the season, that would have been huge, but I just think in the way that they played that game, because Seattle was playing well, and they were doing a lot of things that, getting the points on the board, but they were able to come back. This game, it's going to be a typical NFC East, showdown, and usually, the Cowboys get the best of the Eagles when they're in Dallas. So, going off the history of this series, I have to say that, the Cowboys might, be the team to beat this Sunday, just in terms of, where they're at. If they're at Lincoln Financial, then I'd probably go back to the Eagles side and say, the Eagles have the better option of winning that game.
I really don't mean this clowning on the Cowboys. I'm serious about this.
Our Cowboys, Brett.
That's right, our Cowboys. Because nobody had this. Cowboys win at home Sunday. That's not far-fetched at all. I mean, not even close. In fact, they're the favorite. Now, this one would take upset. Cowboys win at home. Seahawks win in San Francisco. First place in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys.
How about that? Talk to me, Brett.
And then they had the Buffalo, and then they lose, and I don't know. Then they'll be back.
Take your long handles.
They'll be back to a wild card team.
Yeah.
Thanks,
the bad thing for them is it just the way the system is, with one team getting a bye now, it's crazy to think that as good as they are, there are a lot of really strange things would have to happen for them to host the game. So I mean, you figure they're going to be on the road, and which most wild card teams are, but we know they're going to be one of the better teams, come playoff time with one of the better records, probably, superseding, possibly what the Lions finished with, definitely over any NFC South team. And, I don't know if they'll catch the Niners, but, nonetheless, a pretty good record, probably the third or second best record in the division.
Speaking of Seattle, Coach Pete Carroll, and for New England, Coach Bill Belichick. Either, neither, or both step away after this year?
I don't think so. I think Carroll. Yeah, I don't think either one does. I mean, maybe Belichick's not back with New England, but I
agreed.
Yeah, but I don't think either one of them walks away. Carroll looks like his energy. Belichick's never delivered an energy on the sidelines, but we know his greatness. So, but Carroll has that swag. You see him chewing his bubble gum. He has a good pace about him. I mean, like Thursday night when he threw his headphone set after the one penalty. There's an energy, there's a vibe to Pete Carroll. So
he's the Dick Clark of the NFL.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a great evaluation there. So no, I don't see him win. And I think if Belichick. If he walks away, it'll probably be a decision by owner David Kraft to go in another direction. But I think that would be even a little premature. I think the Patriots, and we know they struggled last season a little bit, but if they are this bad next year, 2 wins this deep in the season, then you might see them go in another direction. But I think as of today, December 5th, I'd be shocked if Carroll is gone. I have no reason to think that he would leave Seattle. He seems like a great fit there. And I think Belichick, Kraft's definitely going to not go in another direction after one disastrous season. I think he'll give him another off season to maybe find a quarterback and then go into next season and find out what they have and see if he can possibly, return the team to the dynasty stages that he's had for so long.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and we'll have to just wait and see. There's going to be these rumors are going to continue to circulate, and people are going to continue to talk about some of these older coaches as the season winds down. But Bo, thanks so much for joining us. It should be another great week, and hopefully next week when we talk to you, we're talking about a Cowboys victory.
First place.
That's right, first place.
Yeah,
Cowboys.
You know what? For you, Brett, I hope that is the case.
Thank
I have
you,
no
Bo.
animosity against you, the Cowboys, so I have no problem with it.
Thank you, Bo. That means
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Bo.
We'll talk to you later, Bo.
Guys.
Stay safe.
Bye, guys.
Bo Marchant with us from Eastern Ohio. He covers the Pittsburgh Steelers and all the football in that area. You heard his scouting notes on covering an FSU at Pitt game this year, and he covers all the MAC games, and he's out somewhere every weekend doing the work, and he lives for this, and he loves it. And we love him being with us every Tuesday afternoon throughout the year, covering America's number one sport, and that's the NFL. It's the holiday season at Jason's Deli. All the trees are up in every location at Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Go by one of those great locations, enjoy the holiday season, and get a gift card for a gift for someone that has been good to you this year. Get a gift card for yourself. Be good to yourself. And if you've got an office event coming up, let them cater it, whether it's 5 or 5,000. They've got you covered for catering. A variety of delicious choices for breakfast, lunch, dinner, all-day meals for groups of 5 or 5,000. Let them take care of your holiday fun at your office or a get-together at a church function, among friends, however you want to do it. They've got you covered. Low delivery fees. Call your local deli for the exact details. Same day and last-minute orders are welcome. If you feel swamped and you don't have your event planned right, step aside, let them step in. They've got you covered, whether it's dining in, to-go, or delivery. Wholesome food forever. It's a family thing at Jason's Deli. First franchise in the nation to be trans fat-free, and it's all about choice at Jason's Deli. Regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, you'll be delighted at Jason's Deli. All those salads, like the Big Chef salad, my favorite, the taco salad, the chicken club salad, and then all the sandwiches, the breads, the spreads, the meats, the cheeses, plenty of organic food to choose from, and a staple in every location. Well, it's the holiday tree, and it's the great salad bar right now. Over 30 items to choose from. You prepare it however you would like. And again, catering anytime, anywhere. Locations on Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Cordova, and Olive Branch. Complimentary free ice cream. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Brett, quickly before we get to a break, I'm curious. We talked about Aaron Rodgers with Bo, but did you see what he said on the Pat McAfee show today about the reports coming out that the Jets asked Zach Wilson to come back and be the starting quarterback, and that Zach Wilson was kind of on the edge, didn't want to really come back?
Clarify for me.
So basically those reports came out. They wanted Zach Wilson to, they were having discussions about him being the starter again. He I think as anybody would that had been kicked to the curb by a fan base and a team, was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. And today on the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers was asked what he thought about that, and he was upset that it painted his teammate as a kid quitting on the team, and he said that's the problem with this organization. We need to get to the bottom of wherever this is coming from, and put a stop to it privately, because there's no place in a winning culture where, and this isn't the only time, there's been a bunch of other leaks about our team. So
every reports he's been a phenomenal teammate.
I mean, just a complete 180 from what we kind of all thought towards the end of his career with the Packers. And, I like to see this side of him. And defending, do we ever think he would be defending Jordan Love or another quarterback in that quarterback room with him in the Packers?
I don't think he knew Jordan Love's name.
No, I don't think he wanted to.
Now, it all flows downhill. All reports where Brett Favre treated him just like that.
Yes, so, it wasn't any better for him as a young guy, and maybe he wanted Jordan Love to go through that same. I don't know, but I did think that was interesting today on the Pat McAfee show. Before we get to a break, I got to tell you about Hewlett and Dunn Boot and Jean on this historic square in Collierville since 1961. Charles Hall, he started working there in his teens, and now with his wife Laura, they own the place, known for all the boots, but also clothing, accessories, and a cap for any team in any season. Western wear, work boots, safety toe, soft toe, even rubber boots. Boots for every occasion at Hewlett and Dunn. And from head to toe, they have you covered with every brand imaginable, like Ariat, Dam Post, Anderson Bean. Whether for men or women, they've got clothing like jeans, pants, shirts, shorts, outerwear, and the best duck head collection you'll find. Charles and Laura Hall invite you to 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville, or to their website, Hewlett and Dunn. And what a better time than the Christmas time to get out there to Hewlett and Dunn and try to find that final Christmas present. And they've got things that could be a stocking stuffer, like hats, sunglasses, boot care products in every area, team snapback, or cool hat you can think of. Whether it's the Tigers, Mississippi State, UT, Ole Miss, or the Razorbacks, they've got it. And for travel, Their bag selection is top notch. HewlettDunn.com, but please head out to Collierville. Give them a visit and say hello at 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville at Hewlett and Dunn. Well, we're late for a break. Let's go ahead and grab that. When we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-382-4752 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-382-4752. That's 800-382-4752. What do you have to lose? Call 800-382-4752. Again, 800-382-4752.
At Genesis Diamonds, we're rolling back prices and finance rates so you can get that special someone the most special gift ever. Maybe it's that pair of diamond earrings or that all-new designer fashion bracelet or that dazzling 2-carat diamond ring. It's all more affordable because at Genesis, we've got special pricing across the board and 0 interest for 5 years. So you can get that $3,000 diamond pendant and pay just $50 a month or that $6,000 eternity band for just $100 a month. Everything's included in this amazing holiday offer. All our GIA certified natural diamonds and all our lab-grown diamonds, even all our luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Imagine that $15,000 Rolex for just $250 a month. You can even finance the sales tax. Don't let talk of rising prices and high interest rates dampen your holiday spirit. At Genesis, we're lowering prices and taking interest rates down to 0. Get that headliner gift they deserve and make your money go farther than ever. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended on approved credit.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Coletta's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletta's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletta's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletta's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletta's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletta's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletta's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still very heavy over here on 240 East now from Mill Branch all the way out to Bill Morris Parkway. A little bit sluggish also on 240 East up by Poplar. Still a lot of traffic trying to get out of Midtown right now. I-40 over at Chelsea. Same thing there, that volume in Midtown on 240 South. As you come past Union down to Norris, it's still heavy, but moving down through South Haven right now as we stare at it live on 55 southbound. Weimer's Jewelry located 7525 Highway 64. Shop local this holiday season. Go by and see them right now at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn, Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got less than 30 minutes left in today's show, and boy, has this show flown by. Brett, I saw some breaking news while I was at a break. It looks like a former Vanderbilt coach might be making his way back to Middle Tennessee. It sounds like Middle Tennessee is targeting former Vanderbilt coach Derek Mason as their new head coach.
Okay. He did a good job. I think he was horribly supported by the Vanderbilt administration during his time there, and he unfortunately caught the Vanderbilt years after James Franklin, not just the bar that James Franklin set. And Vanderbilt, for a long time, I respect this, they would not sacrifice a thing on academics, on admissions, on standards, on team discipline. They would not bend an inch on any of that. They did in the James Franklin years, and he won for them.
Sure
and
did.
they hosted game day. I mean, Vanderbilt was on fire.
Yeah.
In the end, after the horrible incident, Vanderbilt administration felt like, see there?
Yep.
We sacrificed, we sold our soul, and look what happened. So Derek Mason got that total overreaction to that, and the budgets have always been tighter, and they turned the spigot off of that, and he caught some lean years to be coach there.
Yeah, no, he really did, and but no, I mean, if that is the way Middle Tennessee goes, I think that'd be a good hire for MTSU, and a guy that could, I think, really do a good job there. So.
He could, and our buddy Tommy West probably would not be a part of the new staff there. He was a longtime member of the Rick Stockstill staff, and I don't know what Coach West's future, what the future holds for him. He's been a coaching lifer and just one of my favorite people ever. I don't know what he wants to do, whether he wants to move back to this area, where he wants to have the retirement years, or if he's ready for that at all. But quite a football life for Tommy West. One tough man.
It really is. We've got the TV in here. It's on ESPN, and we've got the Jimmy V Classic.
Zip, what I have.
Yeah, zip right now. Make it 2-0. 2-2.
You're ahead of me.
Wow, quick. But Florida Atlantic and Illinois going right now. You mentioned earlier that this.
Could I live bet it and tell me that Bryant told me it was 0-0? But they wouldn't follow that.
Don't work like that.
They're kind of savvier than that.
No, they're a little more high tech than that. I believe. But I do think
you think I'd know how to live bet?
Yeah, I was about to say that might. We there's a lot of steps in there before getting to just placing a bet that I don't.
Somewhere in there before I got to the final step, I've thrown my phone.
Yes, absolutely, and probably multiple times, honestly. Yeah. But no, this is you mentioned it earlier. This is a game that I think Memphis fans need to be rooting for.
On are they a blue blood? Is Texas back? If you're asking it and talking about it, you're not.
Yeah. That's a really good point. And
Hall of Fame. If you got to ask you, do you think Ozzie Smith should be in the Hall of Fame?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's.
I don't think the question would even come up.
No, because everyone knows. Everyone that you're talking to knows that Ozzie Smith is a Hall of Famer. But that's a really good point. I think that's where we've kind of been. I think your Texas example is really good because every year we get to a point where we're going, is Texas back? And that becomes a conversation. If there's a conversation around if they are, if they're not, then they're not there yet.
You don't get Sark involved in all that. Man, he has been laser focused, and I remembered it. His first head coaching job was at Washington, and that's who they play, and they met last year in the Alamo Bowl.
I'm excited for these two semifinal games, even though I do think Florida State should be in the
I do too.
The top four.
And it'll just build. Sadly for Florida State, I'm sorry for this again for everybody out there. Reverse all this, and it's your team.
Yes,
Brian. I'd need to be in a straitjacket if it had been Ole Miss.
Yes,
I'm literally.
Yes.
They might put one of those mouth guards on where I wouldn't bite somebody.
Yes.
I would be. I understand Florida State feeling like that, and I'm with you. I understand that. But I also know that time's got a great way of everybody moving on to something else.
Sure does. And we talked about it yesterday. Just because in, late December, early January when these games roll around, we're saying, oh, man, Alabama, Michigan, that's going to be one heck of a ball game. That doesn't mean that we agree with it and that point is right, that the committee got it right. It's still wrong, I think, but it's going to be a great game.
Mr. Mad this time next year could be both of us.
Yeah, it really could.
The Tigers could be right there in that mix for that's going to be the 12 seed, but a 12 seed going wherever and playing in that game.
Who cares if they're in that conversation?
And I would think Ole Miss would be in the 9, 10, 11, 12 category this time, potentially this time next year for a playoff spot. But Brian, as we say goodbye and good riddance to this system, what it did, when we went to 4, and this is the 10th year of it, it did expand a few more opportunities. Nobody really ever cashed in on it, though. No. Maybe Ohio State with Cardale, but it was Ohio State.
Yeah.
It also there was another guy on there named Ezekiel Elliott. So I don't know anybody that really benefited from it, but I guess try telling that to Washington now, their second appearance in the college football 4 at Michigan State. They had that one, but it was a pretty good system that allowed that had a spot fairly earned by these teams.
Yes.
For Liberty, for Western Michigan, for Memphis, for what it did for Houston.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and so I think I'm excited for 12 teams, and I'm really excited that it's going to be here next year. But also,
13, 14 is going to be mad.
Yeah, we're going to have the same conversations next year about that team that's just right outside, and should this team have jumped, and it really will probably be even more of a debate because it won't be undefeated team got left out. They should be in because they're undefeated. They got the job done.
It's going to be somebody local.
Now. Yeah.
Tennessee, Ole Miss, Memphis.
And the problem's going to be is that last team that gets in and that team that's going to be left out, they're probably going to have the same exact record, and you're going to have to be looking at resumes and is this win better than that win? Is this loss worse or better than that loss? And this team ended up doing that. I mean,
what it's going to beg for next year?
What's that?
Pounding people.
Oh, yeah.
When you can run it up, pound it.
Oh, yes. No, you're going to want that because when you can look and say, hey, look, it wasn't close. Because that's what we've been talking about with a lot of these teams this year. Washington is a great example of it. They're winning games, but they go into the conference championship as a 9.5-point underdog because they haven't blown teams out. On the other side, Oregon isn't playing a world beater schedule, but they're blowing teams out, and so everyone thinks they're a 10-point favorite. You're absolutely right. You're going to want to see these teams that are supposed to be top 15 level teams go out and blow every single team out. And if they're up by 10, 15 points in the third quarter, let's win by 30 if we can.
No RPI, net, Sagarin, or Ken Palm.
Oh, man, I love it.
Genius I am.
Throw Bart Torvik in there,
yeah. You knew I would. I really didn't know that name, but you knew I would. I think we're asking for it in college basketball.
Yeah, we're going to get it.
To blow people out.
Some sort of thing that people can point to and look at the analytics of everything, and this is why this team's better because, like I said, we're going to get to the point where there's going to be 4 teams that are all hovering around 11, 12, 13, 14, and they all have the exact same record, and people are going to be screaming at each other why this team deserves it over that team.
Tomorrow at 3:45, we'll talk a lot of Tigers VCU.
Yeah.
Now, we'll go off the number as we come back from that segment. Have you looked at the line for tomorrow night for Tiger Bankroll?
No,
Johnny, have you looked?
I'm guessing it's out.
Oh, no, I haven't looked yet, man.
What do we got, Brett?
I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little nervous.
Man. What do we got,
Tigers
Brett?
-2.
Wow. All right. Let's see how much that moves. I'm going to write it down now that at, 5:45 when we talked about
Market.
Memphis was a 2-point favorite. We'll see what it is tomorrow afternoon.
At 3:45.
3:45. Interesting. Well, we need...
Johnny, you need a W.
Man, I need one bad.
Johnny needs a W.
I need one
he's
bad.
in the game. He came in on Monday and said, Tigers, what are they doing?
He's in the game.
They lost me $100. I said, Johnny, you get it. You get.
It's
how the
play
game's
money.
played.
We don't want anybody. We don't want anybody telling your parents we talked you into losing money on.
We don't need
the radio station.
We don't need a 1-800 number. At least for this segment. Maybe in other areas, I need one. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we're gonna wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or sweet maple bourbon. The taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. And now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4-cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Appleton and Kirby Whitten, and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
It's a Big Green Egg early Christmas at Cordova Ace Hardware, Friday, December 8th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll cook tenderloin, wings, pizza, and dessert all on the Big Green Egg. Try our new sauces and seasonings and check out the platinum selection of Big Green Egg equipment and egg accessories. Get $100 off the large egg, $150 off the extra large egg, $50 off the Egg Genius, and up to $70 off the Egg Expander kits. The Big Green Egg early Christmas party, Friday, December 8th, 11 to 6 at Cordova Ace Hardware, 1740 North Germantown.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Colette's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletta's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletta's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletta's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletta's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletta's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletta's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn, Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, today I learned that today is the day DeAngelo Williams is enshrined in the College Football Hall of Fame. They had a press conference earlier today where DeAngelo Williams spoke about his time at the University of Memphis, choosing the University of Memphis as his school. He talked about how, obviously, going there, that the football program was not where it is today, and it was really a basketball school. And coming in, he wanted to get to those bowl games and win a bowl game, and that he kind of looked around and he said you'd see guys like Reggie Bush, you'd see guys like Tim Tebow, and you'd know those are Hall of Fame guys, and to know that he's finally kind of in the same, not kind of, he is in the same conversation as those guys is really special to him, and being able to do it at the University of Memphis is special. And DeAngelo's a guy, I mean, you go to a Memphis football game, and a lot of times you'll see him down there on the field. He likes to come to a lot of games. He's still very close with the program, so very, very cool to see him finally in the Hall of Fame today.
And we just mentioned Tommy West. I hope he's out there with him.
I hope so. I hope so.
And DeAngelo Williams made a great decision coming to the University of Memphis, and it was fun to watch. That's a great note. Jake Browning, what I learned, Jake Browning was great last night, especially with that run. If they can run it like that all the time with Joe Mixon, he'll be upright and he'll be pretty good.
Yes.
And right now they're way down there at the 12th seed. And all the way down to the 12th seed, I think the Bengals are in it and the Chargers in it.
Yeah, absolutely. What I could have done without Brett. Today we got our MLB draft lottery going on today. I completely missed it, but I have the results right here. The Cardinals, I think, were slotted at 5th. They dropped down to number 7, so they'll be picking at 7th. The Guardians, the winners of the MLB draft lottery, they had a 2% chance to get the first pick, and here they are picking number 1. The Reds picking right behind them at 2nd.
Is there a consensus number 1 pick?
I don't know. I haven't even really looked. I'll be honest, I don't even know what the baseball class looks like this year.
We'll cover the draft, won't we?
Oh, wall to wall.
Every
Brett.
pick.
Every single pick. We'll know.
Have you watched any of the winter meetings on MLB Network?
I've dipped in a little, not much, not a ton.
I have too. Here's my one issue, and I know where they are, and I know it's always dimly lit, and it is where they're broadcasting from. It's thrown my track of time off. Yeah. It always looked like they're broadcasting at 3 in the morning.
It does. We need to get a little better lighting there wherever they're broadcasting from.
I could have done without this. Alabama started a quarterback this year that was the MVP of a bowl game at Notre Dame that's now hit the portal in lacrosse.
Relax.
Bama got it figured out, though, didn't they?
Yeah, Bama figured it out. And shame on us for ever thinking that they wouldn't be able to figure it out. Where are you beaming tonight?
To the Jimmy V Classic. This game is going on, and also defending national champ UConn against Blue Blood UNC.
Yeah, that one should be a fun one. Let's see where I'm going to beam tonight. How about Providence, Oklahoma? Sounds like an interesting matchup.
Arkansas plays Oklahoma over the weekend.
Yeah, and that one's going to be a really good game. Absolutely.
Will one shining moment play at the big in-season tournament for the NBA?
Maybe. I don't know. We need a different
Will
song
streamers
than One
fall?
Shining
Confetti
cannon? Absolutely, Brett. We're playing for a trophy.
14 remaining undefeateds in college basketball. That includes Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Baylor, BYU, and Princeton all playing tonight.
Yeah, and Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss playing tonight.
That's right. They're playing tonight. We're going to have complete coverage of that game pregame for Ole Miss versus Mount St. Mary's at 6:30, leading into that 7 p.m. start. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy your night. We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
The season has changed. You know how I know? It's finally here, the Family Leisure Christmas Sale. Excellent deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, and saunas. Oh, we're just beginning. Tired and sore from shopping? Check out the huge selection in stock of hot tubs and massage chairs. Oh, and you can surprise the kids with the best stuff, like a new arcade, a game table, even a play gym. Gifts for the whole family to enjoy and enjoy together. Also on sale. Theater seating, outdoor kitchens and grills, patio furniture, and fire pits. Merry Christmas from our family to yours. That's Family Leisure of Memphis. Every year we wait. They always deliver. They've done it again. The Family Leisure Christmas Sale is happening at I-40 and Whitten Road. That's 2120 Whitten Road to be exact. That's the place of shopping heaven. Family Leisure, where family and fun all come together.
My Westies.
WestiesMemphis.com.
Westies Hot Fudge Pie. By now, you know we're famous for a hot fudge pie. But have you tried the new Cajun Alfredo?
The new spicy on our menu.
Fettuccine noodles, homemade Alfredo, sliced bell peppers, diced green onions, smoked sausage, and Cajun sauteed shrimp? Are you kidding me? Wow. What you said?
Often imitated,
never duplicated.
The new Cajun Alfredo.
Only at the North End's Westies.
Oh my, so good.
We deliver 7 nights a week.
Downtown Memphis. Oh my.
Open late till 2 a.m.
So good.
Join us December 7, 8, and 9 for our 40th anniversary celebration. Festivities kick off at 6 p.m. nightly. Old friends, new friends, and hot fudge pie.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, serving the official barbecue of the Memphis Grizzlies.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store. With 20 employees along with complete inventory of items, big to little, finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and Weber grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, even new keys with key fob programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws, you need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has it. And they're just down the street at the corner of Quince and White Station.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253